started. Keep my notes open. I'm working on it, making sure this works. Everything good? Okay. I can hear myself, which is really good. Can you talk a little for us? Alright, let's see. I can't hear you. What the hell? That's bad. You're really quiet. I can hear you, but you're really, really quiet. It's like scary quiet. Because I can hear you good. The stream can't. Hold on. Yeah, I can't. The stream can, like, not hear you at all for some reason. Okay. Me too. So I'm wondering what's wrong here. Yeah, I can't hear you at all in the broadcast. Which is weird because... No, you're just completely silent, which is weird because I've had other people on streams and they could be heard on stream just fine. So I'm wondering what's the issue. I wanted to check mine too. And I have my include party audio on.
Captures and broadcasts.
Weird. Yeah, I can't. Who knows? Because I can hear you just fine. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I can't hear you at all.
Try again. There's only one to speak before you do it.
I'm like 16 seconds behind.
Weird.
Okay, I can hear you if there's nothing in the background. I can hear you if the game is not playing in the background, but if the game is on, I can't hear you at all. Like, you're silent, not even... That's so weird.
Because you're having, I mean, no, that wouldn't affect it. Because you're having no issues at all hearing me, right?
I'm not, no. Stream is, though, which is the issue.
Yeah, okay, so it's probably not a mic
Boys, try it now.
Okay.
Because apparently
Oh my
there's
God, it
two
works
settings. Okay, so I
Hear
figured
you
it
on
out.
stream.
Apparently there's two settings to share your voices on broadcast if it's from another person
Weird.
streaming, and I didn't know that, so that's why. Let me now turn down my mic so people don't hear my birds in the background.
Okay. Alright, welcome to Skull's Persona SmackDown. This is the first. And first up, we've got True Lad versus ADH Dignity. So this should be pretty fun. And
Dignity plays Junpei, right? I know Lad's a kanji player.
Lad plays some kanji and some Junpei. I haven't seen ADH Dignity too much, but I know he's a good Junpei. So I'm hoping to see some good matches here.
Yeah. I think one thing we could expect from, so it is normal, which means he does get victory card a bit slower. And I think for Lad, we're seeing normal just due to Shadow Kanji having inconsistencies with when he can confirm off Shadow, just due to the amount of resources needed, so he can't really Shadow confirm in a pinch. That's one of the big reasons why Shadow Kanji is weaker than normal Kanji, so I'm not shocked to see normal from Lad. Plus, I know that, I think Lad's main's normal Kanji since he's gotten into the game. I don't think I've played him much, and when I did, I think he was brand new, so I don't really have much data on either player, admittedly.
I've played Lad a bit, and I can say his kanji is a really strong neutral monster. He uses a lot of RPS and a mix of his persona buttons to get in real quick and lock you down.
Yeah, I think what we could expect to see for sure is that we're gonna see some Junpei kind of just keeping out, do it with Deathbound, the bat buttons, etc. Because they're not super big by any means, but it is a lot better than trying to fight kanji head on. And I think another thing that I'm curious if we'll see from Dignity is if he's not flawless blocking. Sorry, that's the MK term. What? Instant blocking. That's the term for this game. If he's instant blocking the strings, because that's a pretty big thing for kanji against pressure. See the air grab, which will put him. No, he should be able to kill here, right? No, okay, drops it.
Oh,
but I think he could have
but air grab. This could be dead.
Yeah.
I think this is dead.
This should be dead. This is 100% death. Yeah. So we're going into round 2, and neither players went to burst there, which is a big thing in this game. I would say burst management is probably one of the most important skills as a player you can have.
Definitely.
So seeing neither player
getting out of combos, gold burst, frenzy, it's super important in this game.
Yeah, so seeing neither player spend it means that they're probably going for the more traditional view of try to win round 1 without the burst, and then try to use burst to win round 2. And as you can see, having him cornered, also I think Lad, from what I've seen, he seems to favor the Cherokee on kanji. I think one thing I actually do remember was him doing stuff like delaying the chair, so you'd expect to get hit by the chair, and then he'd hit you with a command grab as a little layer to it. I think that's something that I do remember him doing.
I've seen that a couple times, but something he definitely loves doing, every kanji loves doing, is getting their Oki in with their standing B and mixing it in with either buttons or grab, and it's a really, really straining pressure to be put under.
Yeah, kanji does have many weaknesses in this game, but I would say his Oki and his strike throw is definitely not one of them. I don't think this is round, if I'm being honest. Yeah, he drops anyways, but I don't think it would have been. I don't think this can be turned around. I don't think Kanji gets enough off command grab. Yeah. Dropped
Maybe.
anyways.
Might be something. Oh, yeah.
I think I have noticed a lot of drops, so I am curious how the nerves are since I've seen both players drop a lot. And this is def unburstable.
Yeah,
so that's going to be game 1 to Lad, going up 1-0.
Taking these bursts into the next round.
Yeah, neither player spent burst all game, which is something that I would like to see later on the set is doing earlier burst, because there's really, you don't really have to save it as long as they were, even if it is just a way to get out of the Oki and stop it from like looping the Oki when they're last hit, because Gold Burst is a super non-committal option in this game that is incredibly hard to punish, while also having pretty good reward on hit, even if you don't get any damage necessarily from it. Definitely. It does give you all your Persona cards back, you do get a full stick of butter. So those are two things that I definitely think that Gold Burst is really good at, while also just being a super not really a committal option. I don't know if you can punish it, but if you can, you would have to hard call it out over any other option, which just adds on to it being a super good wake-up option.
Definitely, and if it hits, a lot of reward. There's almost no risk involved besides losing half your burst meter, but once again, burst comes back relatively quickly in this game. You can pop it once or twice per game.
You always get burst 2 times, and if you do neutral frenzy / gold burst, etc., like anything like that, I think those are the only 2 things. I guess with auto combos mixed in 2, I think you can get like 3 in a game. But usually you only really see people get 2 because you want to save your burst for really important moments. Like, obviously, one that's pretty infamous in this game is the idea of new players, quote, strive bursting, because they'll spend burst so early, which is a more common thing in strive.
Because I can see people in this fighting game, it's a really fast fighting game, so I can see newer players really wanting to either get out of pressure to go back into neutral as soon as possible, or they want to keep up their pressure when they get out of pressure themselves. So I can see it, you know. Strive bursting is totally a real thing, so.
Yeah, and I think another thing is that there's like a psychological aspect to it too, where you get hit and your first thought is, oh, I don't want to get hit, oh, I don't want to deal with pressure, so you just burst on because it's such a quick input to do. And I think that's one thing that I talked about a lot when I was like a beginner. Is I talked to I had a coach at the time, and he kind of just told me like, hey, the reason why you're bursting, even though you know you shouldn't, is because you're thinking, oh, I don't want to get hit, oh, I don't want to deal with the pressure, so you're just bursting as a panic response. Also, while we were talking, Dignity did go up around in this game, and we are now seeing some corner pressure. What Lab was trying to go for there, for those who are uninformed, is he was trying to catch an air tech and hoping that he could do a little cheeky reset that I don't know if it would have killed necessarily, but it's something you see Kanjis go for, and a big thing, I wouldn't say a big thing in this game, but something you will see is a lot of people have kind of recessed the common tech options as a way to kind of punish people.
Oh yeah. And there's something, it's a mind game both ways, because one more cancels are a huge thing in this game that make things extremely safe, make extremely safe mix-ups, and are an easy way to get out of a whiff. So it's a mix-up on both sides. You have to read each other, or else you're gonna get hard punished for either not reading a one more burst, or reading the one more burst. Or even the cancels even. But cancels make you super safe on block or whiff. Like, we just saw Dignity get out of the corner last round due to one more burst, and there's gold burst.
And there's another there's a gold burst, which I will say, because it's just outside of, it doesn't matter, because I think if Live converted there, I actually do think that would have been round, which is the one issue with gold bursting that led into a game, is that you actually can just get one hit if you're just out of the awakening range relatively easily, because the damage in this game is so high, specifically when people have resources. I mean, see the burst there, just bursting out.
Yeah, definitely.
And now getting shocked, which we haven't explained yet this set, but one thing so the whole thing of what shock does in this game, because Persona has ailments similar to the RPG, shock basically means that you just can't move with your normal regular movement. Yeah. You can do movement tech such as stuff like, well, I guess not really a tech, but stuff such as hop works, but which is how you don't just get free grabs.
Yeah, hop, dodge, any moves that give you any form of forward momentum, such as like Junpei slide, it'll give you momentum.
Yeah, and there.
Yeah.
Sorry, you can continue.
No, you go.
Oh, I was just gonna say that they tied up the set.
Alright, yep, it is 1-1.
1-1.
Let's see who takes it, because these are two really, I'd honestly almost reckon even players.
Yeah, it seemed pretty even last game. In fact, I would say that it was... Like, I would say when I saw the game, it was a relatively even game. I didn't really feel as if any person was the clear winner. And I will say game 1 went to Lad a little bit more than I think you would expect perhaps an even player too. But even then, both of the rounds were close that game. So I think what we can expect to see in game 3 is a kind of even game. But I will say I've noticed Dignity adapting to something Lad is doing. Like, one thing I've noticed a lot is that Dignity has gotten a lot of DP punishes.
Wow.
And there's one we see.
him.
Yeah, I'm wondering why that happens. I know that happens with Persona buns, but I didn't know that Junpei B buns actually had that same interaction. And getting the Cherokee.
So,
Strike.
something Junpei has, it didn't happen this time, but you can reflect Kanji DP. But B-Bot has a little bit of armor on the hit, so maybe he got saved.
Oh, that's interesting. I actually didn't know about that, to be honest.
Yeah, Junpei's got some pretty obscure attacks. So, it makes him a great character to watch. Cashing in for some early bases.
Ended up taking the round there. The burst economy is fairly even. They both bursted fairly early this game, which may perhaps show some signs of nerves as we're going into this game 3, but... And then... We kind of can see Lad just slowly moving in there, which is what has been his general neutral approach this entire set. Using shock as a way to either hit them and then stop their movement, or just use them to get them blocking for a while.
And Dignity playing really good spacing here. He does not want to get hit by JC, JB, or anything in between, really.
Yeah, that was a good jump cancel to beat out the DP. And one thing that I will say is that he's only one home run off of getting bursted. Okay, no Persona. Kanji's a fairly weak character without Persona, despite the fact that you maybe wouldn't expect it, because of the fact that his command grab mostly uses the Persona for the damage. So a lot of his options get less scary. The 2B anti-air, which is like the dedicated anti-air of this game, similar to 6B and Strive.
Missing these Vorpal bats, which is a big whiff on damage. That could have closed out the round.
Yeah, it's going for a bit of going for another cheeky reset. This should be the round if he doesn't draw.
Oh nope, Trismegistus does not come from the top of the screen. It comes from a certain angle, and if it whiffs, it is terrible. So sometimes that'll happen when you're doing that AOA route.
Seeing another, I do wonder one thing we might see is like Lad taking it a bit less patiently and pressing buttons on the way in, because we've seen him beat a lot of approaches with stuff such as AOA, it's not armor, it's guard point, my bad. The AOA guard point, the 2B anti-airs. One thing I would like to mention is that we do see Dignity, getting an AOA of his own, going in for getting the grab. This is Awakening Threshold. Lad will get burst back, I think. Yeah, definitely will get burst back by the end of this round. And Dignity having burst to be able to hold on to a lot of the Awakening HP, assuming he doesn't get hit by command grab.
Yeah, and if any of these stray hits hit with Junpei, it could spell round. Junpei's Victory Cry output is big. Oh, but the command grab.
That should be game.
That is game.
Assuming it was that big. Okay, it doesn't even matter. I was wondering because the damage is a fair bit lower on the C version, but it didn't end up mattering there since it's still 2.7k in Awakening.
Yeah.
Even with it doing like 1.5k less than the D grab.
It's a scary amount of damage, but we see Lad taking the sets.
Yeah, Lad takes it 2-1, and looking at bracket, Lad's next opponent will be, I think it's Fu. I think that's what I heard anyways.
Alright. I have to report these scores.
Yeah.
I gotta report all the scores from round 1 because I'm surprised.
Do you know who we're getting up next on stream, or?
We'll find out soon enough. Car just honked outside. Let's look in and see who is finished so far. So we just had the match with Lad and Dignity. Conball and Ryuzuzu have finished. It was 0-2, and it was 2-0 in Ryu's favor.
Ryuzuzu's favor.
Alright, let's see if anybody else is finished before we continue. Tossed versus Inscada won. Okay, they reported those scores. I'm pretty sure Sumani is a bye, so Bubis takes that set. Let's see if we can get Xmas.
Is Xmas a kanji player?
Xmas, I believe, is an Akihiko player, and a really strong one at that.
I think you're actually right about that. I think you're right.
Alright, so we're gonna see Xmas Man versus Goose here. Alright, so let's see how this matchup goes. Akihiko versus Ken Amada.
So I've actually played this matchup a fair bit, and I think the big thing here is that this matchup is a lot of the Ken trying to keep the Akihiko out. And Aki's main neutral option that I've struggled with, at least in the matchup, and the one that I find to be really good is going to be JC, so I wonder if we'll see that from Xmas. And however, I will say the big thing with this matchup is it's not Shadow Akihiko, so it's not as explosive, but Akihiko definitely has the ability to abuse the fact that Ken has below average HP and Ken, in some sense, has somewhat weak defense. I would say Shadow has better defense due to the more, which is who I've played, has the more consistent access to the Awakening Super. But regardless, he can definitely abuse it. And seeing the JC there get beat out by the instant air, to be seeing the auto combo. Okay, we've seen Goose already DP a lot.
It might be a nasty habit that gets him caught out. I haven't played any of these characters much, so I don't have much information on either of them. The most I've had with this character is Phaser's Akihiko, which is a very strong character.
Yeah, Phaser is definitely a really good Akihiko player. I played him a fair bit, and he's a really strong Aki player.
I think we're definitely going to see a lot of Ken trying to keep out using Koromaru and his long buttons. We're seeing a lot of DPs though,
yeah.
So.
From what I've seen so far, it seems like that both of these players are maybe a little bit nervous just due to the DP habits, which would be my assumption. And also seeing the burst advantage and Goose's advantage and the HP advantage while also having corner, which I don't know if I forget if Aki's Lightning Super has invincibility, but if it doesn't, then I believe Ken might actually have a very good, not necessarily block infinite, because eventually if you put the Ken will get pushed out long enough after a while in the corner if they don't have them sandwiched, but it is a long block loop where they just do 236 BB into 5C over and over again, and that's pretty good just for the chip damage that it can get, and the fact that after a while, because they're probably not going to be paying attention that much, you can get mixed off, in which case you do, if you hit the mix, you deal like the 5 to 6% you get in blue HP, and you obviously get the looping Oki and the damage from the mix.
Definitely. I think we're going to see a lot of just Aki getting kept out, if anything.
Yeah, that's going to be a big
Aki
thing in this
doesn't have a lot of
matchup is
tools to get
definitely...
in besides his speed.
Yeah, Aki's big issue in this matchup, I would say, from playing it, is definitely that the neutral is heavily favored in Ken's side, and the fact that his defense isn't really anything special, I would say.
Definitely, but if he gets some hits in, it could be big considering Ken doesn't have a lot of defense.
Yeah, that's kind of the big thing in this matchup is like Akihiko has one chance, but he can definitely make that chance count, which is why it's not like an awful matchup or anything. So this matchup from the Aki side is going to be all about just getting in and making that one chance count, which I don't think we've really seen yet, but if we do, it could be big. Oh, so one thing to note... I think one thing to note about Ken is that we saw his persona get broken there, but it's really not a big thing for Ken. As while the persona isn't useless on Ken, Ken without persona and Koro is a really good character as is. Also, seeing the SP fire come out there, you can see that from Ken's. You see it more typically when the DP is blocked, but there, if he wanted the kill and he was hit confirming, he could have done the ground super to just kill there, because SP ground super after DP does combo and it does okay damage. It would have killed there for sure because Xmas was really low.
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing nerves at play here because Xmas is a pretty honest and decent Akihiko, but we're seeing them struggle. Could be lack of matchup knowledge too.
I will say, from what I've seen, I don't really see a lot of Kens on PSN anymore. It's been a while since I've honestly seen an active Ken. I know I played like 6 months ago pretty actively, and I haven't really heard of any Ken players that I've kind of been coming up since then. So it could definitely be, I think, a matchup knowledge. And is that 2-0 or 1-0?
That is 2-0. So Silly Goose takes it 2-0. And it looks like we're moving on to round 2 here. We still got Waffles and AA Zeus. So they could be still fighting.
Do you know if IHOP Waffles, is that the kanji, like the intermediate kanji player? Or is it a different Waffles? I haven't seen
much of Waffles. Honestly, it's the Waffles. I mean, I think they just got done with their match too. So while we wait for everybody to report their scores and whatnot, thanks for everybody for coming. It's pretty cool. First ever tourney I've hosted personally, not first commentated. And I'm getting a DQ here. Hold on. Was that? Yeah. Okay, never mind. That's okay. We're seeing some round 2 games ending already. We've got Toss taking it versus Inscada. We've got Dogecaster taking it versus Boobus. And I'm pretty sure Silly Goose has a DQ. Con taking versus Toasty. 2-0. So let's see if we can get Lad and Foe on stream here.
So I think from a bracket I was commentating a few weeks ago, I think I saw that Foe, if I recall correctly, is a Shab player, which is an interesting matchup because out of the top tiers, Kanji usually loses against the top tiers in this game, but that's actually the one pretty good matchup for Kanji because he's really good at breaking the mold just because he has a lot of high base damage. on his moves.
His JB has a lot of range, so I can see it catching out bull whiffing attacks or anything of the sorts. He's got this is RPS to shut down the Shab in place. So he's got a lot
also
of
the
good
fact
matchup
that,
tech for that.
yeah, also the fact that Shab, I'm pretty sure Kanji has a fair few jump cancel buttons, so it's not as if DP like hard shuts down his offense or anything, and his offense is generally going to be and obviously his damage is pretty good, so that will definitely explode the Shab if he gets the hit going, which he doesn't overly struggle with in this matchup due to him being able to punish Bull. And from what I remember seeing from Foe a few weeks ago, he doesn't really do a lot of 5D hold, which can make the already existing problem of Kanji being good at breaking Bull even more prevalent.
Yeah, it could definitely spell doom for the Shabries, but then again, Kanji, well, I think his main defense options are just DP, really. So getting in, like, into the corner against Shabries could be the end of the match.
Yeah, I would say, like, his only really overly good defensive option would be, like, DP and, like, 214, 214C, but other than that, you're really not gonna see a lot of, like, D-Grab, it works, but it's more of a gimmick than anything. It's not really a truly good defensive option.
Definitely.
Which it definitely will come down to if Foe is used to, like, playing around the D-Grab, because if not, that actually can be a pretty obnoxious defensive option, but I would doubt that lad would go for it, because we did see him on stream earlier, and he didn't really represent D-Grab. I don't think he did at all, but if he did, it wasn't very common.
Definitely.
We saw him do a lot more DPs, for sure.
Kanji is a lot more of a scary character than people give him credit for. People say air grab isn't an issue, but it is a huge pressure tool. If they're trying to catch you pressing JB, trying to press JC, and you can instant air it too.
Oh, while we were speaking, I guess Lad actually beat Foe 2-0.
Well, there's a bit of that matchup tech working out. We're gonna have Waffles versus Cyber here. So we're gonna see what happens here. I don't have too much experience with either of these, but I'm pretty sure Cyber plays Yosuke.
You might be right on that. I'm trying to think who they play. I know
think
Waffles is
times.
Okay, Waffles mains Kanji, but he does have a secondary Narukami.
And we're gonna see
And
that
that's who he's
Narukami
playing.
come out.
So we'll say one thing about Waffles is that Waffles is like the embodiment of I do not care, I'm going to mash or press DP.
It can work
He
out
will
sometimes
do
too.
DP in any situation. I have seen him do run up DP in neutral. It does not matter. If he wants to press that DP, he is going to press it. Yeah, seeing Shadow Yosuke, which is generally held as the better Yosuke, as due to the fact that Shadow gives more room for the kill pressure, which is one that I would say Yosuke can struggle in as the damage. But
we're
for
gonna see
seeing
a
an early
burst,
burst, which is something that Shadow punishes much harder than normal is early bursting, so I wonder if it might be perhaps something that they might struggle with is the nerves, because usually you won't see Shadow players do that unless they're nervous.
Definitely. Another good advantage of Shadow players is just having access to Awakening Super. Sukukaza is an amazing install super, and we're gonna see it come out right here to show you why.
Yeah, for sure. That can definitely be something that helps out a lot. And seeing, okay, bursting into the corner doesn't really get much there. I think this does give a safe jump. Baits it out. Oh, yeah, because you can't safe jump Yosuke. Which one thing is that Narukami typically does a lot of safe jumps, but because Yosuke is very good at beating out safe jumps, it will force Waffles to adapt his pressure to that.
Yeah. But what we're going to see a lot here is a bunch of these setups and a bunch of scary neutral. Yosuke can definitely pressure you from full screen. Kunai is a very scary neutral tool, and somewhat of an annoying one too.
Yeah, one of the things with Yosuke is despite his speed, like I think a lot of people would look at his speed and look at that and just going, oh yeah, he's a rushdown character. But really, what I would say is one thing that Yosuke excels at is not zoning necessarily, but using something like a kunai, like his D buttons, and then using those to cover him on his approach. Now he can kill here, he can kill, and I think he will opt to kill. Definitely. Yeah, he does, which means he probably
he drops
it. As per the jokes go, Shadow Yosuke's drop combos. As per the jokes go.
Definitely, but something I see with Yosuke neutral is that they don't zone or rush down too often. What they really want to do is make you press something. They want to make you whiff something so they can get in and get their damage and get back out.
Yeah, one of the best things about
game of cat and mouse.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing with Yosuke is he's very much a hit and run character where he gets his hit and then he kind of pressures you on knockdown but he doesn't really have the greatest Oki due to the lack of safe jump and the fact that from 1.1, which we haven't played on for like 3 years now, obviously, but back in that game he had a lot of mix, and in that version of the game he had a lot of mix, and so his pressure was much better. In this game he doesn't really have true mix. He's doing a lot of staggering, he's doing a lot of strike throws, and yeah, he has the unblockable, he has crosses, but they're all reactable, so realistically, the Yosuke's just kind of reaction checking you and adding on mental stack when they're doing that, rather than actually doing a 50-50 high-low the same way, say, Aegis or Ten is.
Definitely, but let's see if they enforce that cat and mouse game here. But Narukami, very basic yet scary character. He gets in and he'll enforce his honestly simple pressure, but it works effectively.
Yeah, the one that I do on Narukami is that he's the perfect character in this game. He doesn't really have any big flaws. Like, he kind of has weak mid-screen damage, but he has great corner carry, so it kind of evens out when he has great corner damage. So, Narukami is, like, the perfect character. He doesn't really have he does have broken stuff, but he doesn't have as broken stuff as, say, Shadow Ken, Shadow Mitsuru, etc. But he also doesn't really have flaws, whereas Mitsuru and Ken have much more clearer flaws that Narukami doesn't necessarily have.
Definitely. Seeing a gold burst, so we're loaded on resources now. And Narukami with full meter is a certainly scary character.
Yeah, one of the things about Narukami is he gets really good uses out of meter, and in specific, I would say he's probably one of the best users of one more cancel in the game. We see the burst from Yosuke there just because of the fact that he had to burst or else he would have died. Okay, we see him try to battle to DP, but to no avail. Yeah, I will say, one thing I've noticed is that, one thing I noticed a lot in that set is that Waffles was actually fairly patient on the DP. I think he DP'd the first time Yosuke got knocked down, and then I think from there, Waffles was kind of just not really pressing the DP, so he kind of just waited on DP and let himself return to neutral a lot because they were baiting out DP, meanwhile he knew that he wasn't going to DP.
Yeah.
And that's going to be 2-0 for Waffles over Cyber, leaving into playing, I believe, that's Dogecaster in winner's quarters.
Definitely. I think we're about to reach top 8 too.
Yeah, we're one round off of top 8.
Alright, so we're looking at Sand versus Khan here.
So I know that Sand plays Adachi, and I know that Khan plays Kanji. I saw Khan play a couple weeks ago. I don't really remember too much about their play, if I'm being honest. I don't remember them being an overly impatient Kanji. And if I'm being honest, I've never really seen Sand play. So not really sure what kind of habits he has or whatever.
Alright, Khan is, honestly, he's got the foundations of a great Kanji. He knows his mixtures of pressure, a lot of grabs, and he's super fond of the reversal super grab. So we might see that a lot these sets, and it might save him a couple times.
You wanna play with me?
Though we do have the funniest DP on the other side of the screen.
Yeah, one thing I will say is, unlike the other sets that we've seen so far today, most of the characters, if not all the characters we've seen, well, I guess other than Ken and Anaki, actually are notably have pretty strong DPs, and Adachi's is one of the weakest ones in the game on defense due to being 23 frames on startup. However, it does have uses as an instant overhead online due to the fact that it is an overhead. So that can kind of might be something that we see from Sand. Seeing that air grab, didn't crouch it, and this is going to be chair super, which takes away awakening HP, and does going to give him pressure.
We're gonna see Mandala.
Wake up Mandala. One thing I will say is that one thing you'll see a few Dodge players do is they kind of will just throw out Mandala without really caring.
Definitely,
like even if it just intentionally whiffs, is
it'll
because yeah, give it the buff regardless, so it doesn't really matter. Also, one thing we saw there was so a moment ago was one that I mentioned earlier on was the fact that Persona buttons actually go through and won't get hit by Kanji DP, which is why Sans 5C beat out Khan's DP.
More DPs. Okay, yeah, there you go.
And the DP actually beating it.
Yeah, Adachi DP is also a bit of a matchup knowledge considering it hits overhead then low. So
yeah, for sure.
Comes into tech. It's a pretty common tech, but AOA actually hitting. So we're seeing a drop.
Seeing another DP. Yeah, seeing the DP whiff. I think it whiffed. I don't.
It hit the Persona.
It was that interaction again. Yeah, this should be game. If he doesn't drop, this should be game.
And it's
this is
lots of damage.
Yeah. So there we see Sen Gulp 1-0.
That was a decent set from both players, though. We saw
that was a solid game.
Grab. I was talking about it earlier. It is still a scary neutral tool.
Yeah, I think one thing that I would expect to see from Khan, perhaps, maybe noticing that the DPs aren't working out, so maybe perhaps putting them aside and trying to just play a bit more patient, maybe add in different defensive options such as roll into the mix rather than just doing DP, because so far they've been really good at, been doing really good at using Adachi's really good Persona buttons to be able to just bait it out, which is definitely one that a lot of characters can't really do as effectively as being able to use the Persona buttons on offense, which is something that Adachi obviously doesn't really struggle with at all due to JC and 5C being incredible buttons.
Definitely. Adachi has great neutral. I'd say another one of the good all-rounder characters, because he has grab mix-ups, he's got good neutral, he's got Mazio, he's got a lot to just either lock you down or keep you away. And
yeah, I would say
Dodge.
Yeah, SP gun being genuinely, like, I would say one of the best things in the game at just pressuring last hit situations. It's a super good tracking tool.
It keeps you glued to the floor, and with some people, that is a really big struggle. Like, it'll put a lot of mental strain on some people who glued to the floor like that. We just saw Khan JB the 2D. I have not seen that too much. There's the grab we're talking about, but it whiffs this time. Looks like he was ready.
Yeah, and that's going to be putting Sen on set point, actually. Also going into this with the burst advantage, Khan will obviously get burst back, but it is something to note is that he will be down in burst at the start. Already getting corner pressure, getting the DP. I think this is one of the few DPs I've seen actually hit the set.
A good
one thing I have noticed from Khan is he's really good at breaking Adachi's Persona, which I would say probably one of the weakest. I would say like Adachi is obviously a lot of characters struggle when the Persona is broken, but Adachi in specific is very much a struggle bus when he does get his Persona broken, as he loses his main neutral buttons and all of his I don't know how to put it. I suppose solo buttons there are a lot of. Yeah, it won't be game. Seeing the wake up command grab. I did wonder if he could have killed there with OMB. Yeah, seeing the DP to react to the. I think that was D grab. I think
that was a D grab. Yep.
Yeah, so that punishing one after it whiffed, which will put Sand up 2-0 and a winner side of top 8. Playing against Vanguard, another Kanji player up next. Not up next on stream, but when we see them play again, it will most likely be Vanguard and Sand.
Okay. The only other person, unless we want to switch to losers. What are you thinking? Should we do a losers match?
I think it's probably better to just stream Waffles and Dogecaster, assuming they're the only ones left.
Yeah, let's see.
Hold up, Chris. I'll post the bracket in chat real quick.
Alright, so Waffles and Cast are already playing.
So then, yeah, I guess we can go down to losers. In which case, is there a... Looking at losers,
I mean, I see
Hold
a Ryu Zuzu and ADHD playing.
Oh, Ryuzuzu just won that, I think. At least it's
Okay.
been reported on bracket that they just won. I see Cyber and Xmas in losers for 13th. I see Goose and Foe for 9th. And that's it at the moment. There's a couple of round 1 matches that's still going on, but I think they might be DQs.
Maybe.
Pretty sure they're the DQs anyways.
Maybe we can get Goose and Foe.
Weird. I did Control C, Control V the bracket. Let me try to redo it, and if not, then... Yeah, weird. I'm not getting, I copy and pasted it both times, and it didn't give me a bracket.
I have to go in and fix scores for, DQ.
Yeah, maybe if you post-link the bracket, it'll work? Because I tried posting it twice, and people couldn't get it. Focus on the TOing first, of course.
No way. That kind of sucks. So we have 2 TOs in the same losers bracket. Or, not TOs, DQs. We have 2 DQs in the same losers bracket. So, I think we're just gonna have... We have 3, actually. So I think we're just gonna see... Okay. I'll fix this. Okay. And then we just have... Alright, crisis averted.
Dan, while we're waiting on SmackDown stream, if you're done doing the TO stuff, do you mind saying if you could post the bracket in chat? I tried to post it because Chris asked for it, and I couldn't send it through.
Alright, let me see if I can get it. Here, I'll post it in commentary for you.
I had the bracket pulled up, but if you want me to try it again, I can.
There you go, I posted it in commentary
With the new
for
link.
you.
Okay, yeah, I'll try it one more time then. Okay, yeah, that's my top server.
Alright, we do have a losers match though. Toss versus...
Yeah, this seems like
Let me get this.
another... Yeah, I'm not sure why it isn't posting in chat, considering the fact it linked on Discord, and I'm not sure why it's really linking here.
That's really weird.
If people want to try, any messages I've sent in chat so far have been the bracket, and if you're on PC or I'm sure it would still work on mobile too, you can copy and paste it into a browser and it should give you the bracket. It's a little bit weird, and I'm not sure why it's not, but that is an option you have if needed, if you really want to see the bracket. Which, for anyone that doesn't know, my YouTube is Sector Ackworth. Not trying to self-promote, but that is if you're looking for the message in chat, that is who will be popping up, and I sent the bracket links.
Alright, so we've got Toss versus AA Zeus here. I don't have much info on Zeus. I think he's a newer player, but Toss is a beginner intermediate Junpei. Slowly climbing up. Let's see. I know they played Dachi, so.
Yeah, I also will say, I just learned the reason why it's not working is because links can't be sent over YouTube live chats, I suppose. Which I guess makes sense, because I think a while ago YouTube removed the ability to embed links in general from comment sections and stuff. So that would be why.
No. I'm not trying to be biased or anything, but I gotta hype up Junpei. One of the funnest, honest characters in the game. VC being a very, very common tool you'll see be pulled out with good Junpeis. Though he struggles.
Yeah, Junpei's entire identity is definitely Victor Cry. Like, without Victor Cry, Junpei is not really a real character, so to speak.
He's not a good character without it, for sure. His damage comes from it, his pressure, because, you know, he gets bunt off of, he gets bunt 5D pressure in Victor Cry that really does stuff for him.
Yeah, I will also say, I was playing Seb, who was a pretty good Junpei not too long ago in the Ken matchup, and I'm not sure how much it helps in general, but one thing I noticed is that his neutral felt a lot better once he does get Victor Cry. Not only due to the fact that he's getting higher reward off of getting the party started, it's also just his buttons felt better overall, which is something I noticed.
The main advantage of somebody getting Victor Cry is the added stress that gets put on you. I think the mental strain of the opponent is certainly huge to a Victor Cry that's just outside of the game. Because Victor Cry is a scary tool for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Even if like Junpei's even if in Victor Cry is not like the best character in the game or anything, it does significantly make him stronger to the point where he is a legitimate, very real threat that you have to take care of. And we did see Adachi bursting really early there, which does end up giving Toss a really big advantage in the burst economy, because he will get burst back by the end of this round. Meanwhile, Adachi will not.
And this is Victory Cry.
Yeah.
Now, does he have the
going
VC
into Awakening? This should be death with one more burst, and plus the fact that Victory Cry Junpei in specific, while he does have to go to corner carry and his damage is a bad mid screen.
Okay.
I'm shocked that actually didn't kill. I think it was due to the meter. I think it was due to the lack of meter. But it doesn't matter. Ends up picking the round anyways, which will put him up 1-0 in the set. And yeah, looking at it from the level, it does look as if Zeus is a fairly new player.
We're seeing a lot of straight hits in neutral here too. So these are definitely two newer players, but Toss is certainly a good Junpei.
Yeah, from what I've seen, Toss has been playing for a fair bit now, like a couple months, which is still relatively new, but not super new. Just from what I've seen, at least. He could have been playing a bit longer, or maybe a bit shorter than I'm thinking, but somewhere around there, I believe.
Maybe we'll see more Deathbounds come out, because that could definitely put a with Zeus. I can see him struggling a bit to get in with Deathbound here.
Yeah, I will also say, just due to Zeus being new, I wonder if he might just get knowledge checked out by the Deathbound for sure. Because I think new players, it's not really intuitive if you played other fighting games that, oh, you're supposed to hit the quote projectile. It seems a little bit weird if you're not really used to other fighting games and you're kind of just getting into it. Maybe it might not be the most intuitive thing, of course. What is one thing and that will be Victor Cry, as you said, and also leaving him incredibly low, along with the fact that Toss has a huge advantage within the burst economy, just by bursting there, so he just gave it up.
But definitely, there you go. A little bit of a cross.
And that should be round. Okay, drops it, commentator's curse, and then yeah, that's round. Just
blame the clean hitbox.
I will say one thing I've noticed on round start, with assuming we see it on the round start, it seems as if both players are playing it just really passively. They both kind of just tend to just air dash back. Specifically, Toss, I've seen air dash back a lot.
Junpei really, like, he benefits from the defensive playstyle. He makes you want to get in and will make you take risks to get it. So that's where his gameplay shines a lot. We're seeing a Mazio connect here. But
yeah, it doesn't really convert to
pressure.
much, since honestly, Mazio doesn't really lead to much on hit, I believe, even if it's grounded. Yeah, and just one straight hit, which getting it there with the Persona. 2-0 for Toss, which moves him into loser's top 8, which they play winner of Waffles and Ryuzuzu. Wait.
Yep.
Hold up. Oh, you're right, okay. Waffles was sent to losers by Dogecaster. Which, that means we have our winners top 8 matches lined up now.
Awesome.
Which is Lad and Dogecaster, which I believe is Chie and Kanji, if I'm not mistaken, and Vanguard and Sand, which is another Kanji versus Adachi matchup. Actually, I don't think we've gotten that matchup today. No, we did it with Sand and Kon, that's right.
Wait, we're in top 8 now, right? Or are we waiting on...
Top 8, yeah, we're in winners top 8.
Okay.
Assuming Lad, Doge, Sand, and Vanguard haven't played yet, we have 2 winners top 8 matches. And then we could probably catch in losers on losers quarters or loser semis. Well, definitely losers quarters, actually. Definitely losers quarters.
Yeah, we're gonna see Lad versus Caster here, which is certainly a interesting thing. And I thought Caster was playing Yosuke, but I guess we're gonna see.
Is Caster a Yosuke player? I've seen him play both, to be honest with you. Unless I'm getting my players mixed up, I believe I've seen Caster on,
Caster is a Yosuke. I do know that, but I did hear him talk about playing Shadow Chie, I believe. Or we could see the Labras switch too. He's also a Labras player.
Yeah, very interesting lineup of characters, which changes up a lot. I will say, I haven't seen a lot of Labras v Kanji, but I would imagine Labras's, wrong franchise. I'd imagine one that we'll see from Lab is we'll see your JB coming in a lot, because it obviously is a really big button, along with stuff such as 5B and Sweep, which are generally going to be much bigger than Kanji's buttons.
Definitely. So we're gonna see what this is gonna look like here. Maybe we're gonna see Lab pull through, being a good Kanji overall.
Yeah, but I will say one that I do think is important to mention about Labras, and one that I do think is important to pay attention to, is the color of the axe. As your axe goes up, it makes some of her. I think it increases some of her buttons. I think it makes some of them quicker, and it makes just generally some of her tools a bit better, while also majorly increasing her damage output.
The damage is...
And right there, we're seeing it go to Yellow Axe. Which, for those who don't know, there's 5 levels. You start every game at green, and then... Green, I think. It might be blue. And then the 5 levels are gray.
Green, I think,
yeah, it's green.
Like one lower.
Blue is the second lowest, gray is the absolute lowest, and then there's yellow/orange and red. Some people will call it orange.
We're seeing the Kanji here. Wow, the D-grab.
And just D-grabbing through the super, which does give round 1 to Lad. Yeah, it does, which is why that worked.
I'm definitely seeing the Kanji here take more control of the neutral than Labras.
There we go. I was muted for a bit there, sorry. But yeah, I think one that we will see is because of the fact that Doge seems to spend his time spread out through like 3 characters. I know that Lad is mainly a Kanji player. I do think that could definitely make Lad a bit more comfortable within the neutral game.
Definitely.
And getting Red Axe, spending the Red Axe a bit early, but he does keep it.
Alright, there goes
and
Kanji
then breaking the persona, that should be round.
This could be dead for sure.
Yeah, because of the fact that...
Wait, huh? Wait, he's alive.
shocked that that didn't actually kill.
And he's
I don't know
got
why that
burst.
didn't kill.
Maybe. I would have saved it for
Cat
next round.
Doge
You still
should
gotta save
definitely,
round.
yeah, for sure. I would have saved it too. Generally, if I'm up around, I don't like spending burst to avoid losing the second round. Seeing a gold burst there, which is, I would say it honestly makes sense as
Nice
it's and
DP.
losing anyways. I think that's another
Wow.
relevant thing about Lab is she probably has the worst DP in the game due to the fact that it's like 30 frames of startup and the fact that it's guard point. So a lot of things do just beat it outright.
Yeah, that was a great match. We're seeing Lad showing his clutch skills for sure. So it is 0-1 in Lad's favor. But we're not seeing a switch. We're riding Lad the whole way through, and maybe it'll help.
I do think there definitely is benefits to just running a, just playing one character in a set. It lets you warm up that character, and it doesn't, and switching is definitely a taxing thing mentally.
Definitely, yeah.
Obviously, if you see other high-level dual mains, I don't really think we've seen a lot in this game, but people such as Mango and Melee, there definitely is something said about the psychological factor in your opponent too, but I think a lot of people aren't really good at it enough to where that would actually outweigh it for their personal psychological, the downsides to switching.
Oh yeah, because there's a bunch of different play styles, and Labrys definitely has one of her own play styles. We're seeing the orb come out, but it's not helping her. But now she's got full meter. Let's see what she does with it.
Yeah, having full meter, I don't think this kills. Yeah, it doesn't. However, Lad definitely having a big advantage due to the fact that getting yellow
all the way to red.
Went up to red for a second, back up to red, burst, getting out the burst from Lad. The Persona break. This is honestly like one hit away from, probably not really one, but like 2 hits away from game. Round, sorry, not game.
Yeah.
And however, Lad is taking it. I will say the nice thing about Doge here is that having huge burst advantage going into the second round, if you're down around, that is the situation you would want. Because then you can win second round a lot more easier. And obviously that's not even including the idea that you can win it with neither doing a burst and getting the gold bursting out. I will say, I am really liking to see these gold bursts, as I think it can sometimes go a little bit of an underrepresented options by less experienced players, and seeing it come out so often today from people that I didn't really expect it to come out from is definitely really nice.
Getting out of that. We're back to green, though. We're back to green axe here.
Yeah, back to green and just kind of playing a little bit of a keep-out game, hitting, yeah, that's going to be round. 2-0 for Lad moving into winners finals.
Is it finals? Winners finals?
Yep, winners finals was the winner of that set.
Alright. And now we got, next set is Vanguard versus Sans. So we're going to see another kanji.
Yeah, I will say from actually looking at Vanguard playing a couple weeks ago, I do know that he got to play a lot of the Kanji Adachi matchup, and seeing Sans last set against Kon, they both definitely seem to be experienced in the match, which makes it a little bit interesting as to what we could see in the adaptations they might make to each other.
I've played against both these people actually recently, so I've got a bit on how they play.
Yeah, I think I only played Vanguard once, and from what I remember, Vanguard tends to be a bit more of a gimmicky player.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, he spends a lot. He's either in your face or far away, trying to zone you out with his RPS and his shoulder tackle ability, which is a really strong tool in neutral that sometimes goes undermined.
Round 1.
I just need to dive, but it's not going anywhere.
Getting a 5C counter hit, it is the, it's not the single hit because it was too close, so it's not too much. Weird chair hit there. Getting one of Kanji's biggest starter being that JC, that's going to be 3k into Oki. I think we saw Vanguard try to go for the restart that we mentioned with Lad earlier on, much earlier in the tourney, where it's the kanji will delay their chair and then use that to get the command grab because you're expecting the chair to hit. There we've seen the D grab actually work out there though. I think that would have hit, but
Another
yeah,
D-grab.
Roba and
He's
Sandguard.
D-grabbing, he's jumping.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to see
Opting to burst anyways.
Okay, you're gonna have to see an adaptation to this, but okay.
Seeing a reset, I think one that we're gonna have to see from Sand is just, I don't know what specific tech would beat that. I believe up tech or no tech would though. Those are two options that I believe would work.
Another grab.
Yeah, roll grab.
I think we've just
getting the lightning Oki.
I think we've already seen a straight download on Vanguard's part.
Yeah, even then, like, kind of baits it out, but doesn't really have enough time to punish the SB grab, as he didn't really hard caught out with a roller, not a roller hop or anything. Okay, going into Oki. I will say, one thing I do remember from Vanguard, one that we've seen the set, is I do believe he favors lightning Oki off command grab.
I would too, because honestly, the shock that you get. Wow, grabbing the AOA.
Yeah, that's gonna go up 1-0 for Vanguard.
Yeah. He's definitely on his call-out game this time. Let's see if we see a game plan change up from Sand here, because they're really getting caught out for being too aggressive.
Try to see an air grab there around, so trying to maybe call out something aggressive from Sand. Getting the strike, bursting, fairly early burst again, which is one thing I've noticed is that Sand tends to do a lot of early bursting. I've noticed.
I can agree with that burst a little bit, since he's already kind of low on HP, and I can see him wanting to take a turn for the match. Seeing Kanji's persona broken too, which could be good for... Okay, we might see something here. Wow.
Air turn Jason getting the hit. I will
ready
say, I think he was a little late to hit confirm the 5B, because later hits a 5B don't combo into 5C, I believe, but even then he does... No, it won't, okay. Oh, I think that was SB, so I don't think he kills.
Okay, it doesn't kill yet.
Oh, it would have killed if it was SB, but it was actually C version.
DP closing the round, that's great.
Was that the SB Auto Smasher?
I think it was.
Yeah, for those who don't know, SB Atom Smasher is like +4 on block, I want to say. Which is why the 5A didn't punish.
Ouch. Seeing some good stagger pressure.
Getting a little bit of a cheeky reset there by hitting the B button and then just hitting it with the command grab.
Wow.
Another reset. Working on a perfect here. Doesn't get the perfect. Getting. One thing I don't think that we've really seen this tourney, and one thing I really haven't gone too much in depth on, is the fact that Mandala with Adachi is probably one of the best robberies in the game. He has amazing comeback potential. Coming off the fact of the damage and the statuses really does make him a scary thing. However, that doesn't really go anywhere. However, he did get a pretty big resource advantage going into round 3 for this game, which is a big thing, as Vanguard might get it back at the very end of the round, but he won't have it for the vast majority of this round for sure.
Definitely. His buffs and debuffs are definitely a scary part of his game plan. Having Spear and Poison is a huge thing for him. Plus, his Heat Riser Mandala effect can definitely steal around if he's low HP.
Yeah, and there, we're talking about Heat Riser, and we just see him get out the Heat Riser. Going to bait that out. This, if Yo&B's it should kill, I believe. Doesn't.
Yup, there you go, 5C.
Yeah, there you go, closing out with a 5C. I think one that we saw there was I noticed him punishing a lot more of Vanguard's options, and he was a lot better at playing around the grab, which tying it up 1-1, which winner of this goes into winners finals to play Lad.
Yep, that's it. Winners finals, and don't we go first to 3 from there?
Oh yeah, it's first to 3 for generally top 3 in Persona. Some people do top 4. I've seen some top 6s, but most people don't really like top 6. But usually top 3 or top 4. I'm not sure what you have in specific here.
Round 1.
That was a fairly big read on that grab, going for the 2C, which is air unblockable.
Good grab.
Was that a D grab? I think it was.
Yeah, D grab. It's going through a bunch of attacks.
Yeah, and actually, Sand
Okay,
with
see
punishing the
reverse.
grab there. However, not the grab, the chair, and seeing him at Pico, he's going to get Mandala here.
Yeah, there's
Mandala into, I believe, I thought that Adachi had been more okay there, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, now we're seeing Vanguard just try to keep him out. Obviously, one hit could definitely, and that's going to be round. That should be round. No, it doesn't have the meter. Sorry, doesn't have the meter.
There you go.
Getting
closing out the
DP'd.
round.
Putting Vanguard on set point. They're fairly even within the burst. Both will definitely get it back this round, but they won't have it immediately.
Maybe we'll see a bit of passive play, but we'll see.
It doesn't really look like it. Neither, well, I suppose mainly Adachi is not the greatest at full screen. And Kanji is not really good at pure zoning / giveaway in the way that you would expect maybe a Yukari to, but he does have respectable kind of keep out options.
Definitely not.
Yeah, getting the awakening, that's going to be grab. Next Oki situation here does kill.
Yup,
And that's going to be game. Going up 2, nope, not going up 2-0, winning this at 2-1 over Sen, moving into winners finals for a Kanji mirror.
And now we'll be going into loser semis. Or no, we're going to losers round 4. We have Ryu versus Toss. The infamous Yukari versus Junpei matchup.
Yeah, I don't know if Ryo Zuzu's playing Yukari. I did see him play a secondary recent TMN last night. But he did switch to Yukari for the end of the bracket, to be fair. So I'm not sure if we'll necessarily see Yukari there.
We might. I was fighting his Yukari just before this.
Yeah, so then I would assume it's going to be Yukari, since that seems like the character's been warming up then.
Oh, wait. Okay. Alright. Hopefully we don't see Yukari come out, because Yukari definitely is a bad matchup for Junpei. Name one that isn't. But he does have some matchup specific tech with it, with his bat reflecting projectiles. And we are seeing Yukari come out.
Yeah, I will say I'm interested to see how we might see him adapt to this matchup, as it can be a definitely rougher matchup for Junpei, as it is for most of the lower mid tiers in this game. They kind of tend to have a bit of an issue with Yukari. And seeing that, yeah, we're gonna see Ryu just establishing the zoning already.
We'll see if Toss is feeling confident enough to start reflecting the Gary orbs, but even like the arrows can be reflected here, so anything's fair game.
Yeah, I think one that we can definitely also see here is the fact that Yukari, despite being a zoner, I would say a lot of her toolkit is actually very rushdown suited as well. So I think one that we can expect to see is really high damage. She has some of the highest average damage output in the game, if not just outright the highest. While
Definitely,
also having top
especially with
3,
Shadow.
I would say in my opinion, top 3 set play in the game.
Oh yeah, definitely. Her Garrote Orbs are a scary tool, a mix-up tool, a zoning tool. They basically do everything you'd want them to do.
Yeah, one thing that her Garrote Orbs gives is for people who played Happy Chaos and Strive, one of the big things is that it gives tracking similar to what he has, which is a huge thing for Yukari, because she doesn't really even have to predict the angles that you're going to move at then. And we kind of see it there. It did end up whiffing, but where it just, they go through there and then it auto-tracks to your opponent.
Yeah, Garrote Orbs aren't going to make your arrows perfectly aimed, but it will hit most of the time.
Yeah, and I think one thing we just saw there not too long ago was Yukari's DP, which is a really good DP. Again, one of the things that makes Yukari strong is a traditional zoner's weakness would be they don't really have great pressure, which obviously she has very good pressure with her jump cancels. She has throw combos if you spend 50 meter. For buttons, she's generally has very strong buttons. Another thing is that zoners tend to have weaker defenses. That's not exactly the case with Yukari. Her DP is, in my opinion, a top 5 DP in the game for sure.
Definitely. I'm surprised we didn't see Shadow come out, since Shadow Yukari is generally seen as better, having access to Margarula and having access to Frenzy, which definitely unlocks some crazy damage potential.
I will say, from seeing Yukari players talk about the normal versus Shadow, the main thing that normal has over Shadow is that it's much easier to pilot at a high level, optimally. Well, not much easier, but it is noticeable. I would say, like, from what I've heard, they consider it noticeably easier. Meaning, throughout the course of a bracket, especially since Ryuzuzu is in losers and has been for a few sets, I think the advantage of being able to play for the more longevity is definitely something that I would value in a tourney setting, whereas perhaps in a cheerless setting where we're talking more theoretical and not really practical, that's not something that has to be considered so much.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is why you see people such as Flood and Thun, not that Thun overly plays now, although I do believe he played at Frosty Faustings. But regardless, we do see, which is why most Yukari players are normal. The only really high-level Shadow Yukari player that I can think of is Sedex, or Sidex.
Sidex is definitely a good player, but going back to the game here, seeing a very common mix-up here is a guessing game of how many overheads am I going to do to you before I hit the floor. That is a very common thing, and since 5A on Yukari is a low, it does open a bit of mix-up just off of that.
Yeah, for sure. Like, her 5A being a low is extremely good. Also, not to mention the fact that she has her sweep, which is one of the, I want to say one of the higher damaging low options in the game. Since most lows are like 2As in this game, so it's scaled quite a bit since it's an A starter. Which isn't the same for her sweep, as it's in fact doesn't scale at all, because, well, not that it doesn't scale at all. It doesn't scale anywhere close to what a normal would, and while also being a very fast low that is unreactable.
Definitely. Yukari is overall one of the more scarier characters in the game, especially in the corner. She's got resets with bombs. Seeing a one more burst here, and it almost paid off with a kill.
Yeah, I think another thing worth mentioning is, because you mentioned her corner pressure, I think another very relevant thing is the fact that most of her combos end in the corner because she has amazing corner carry, but even if she can't go corner to corner off a confirm, she can also just side switch, so in most of the time she should be side switching, and with that, I think that's 2-0, correct?
Yep, that is 2-0, ending on a perfect victory.
Yeah, a quick set for Ryuzuzu moving into fight. I want to say it's Sand. Yeah, fighting Sand, who actually sent him down to losers 2-1 earlier in the bracket.
We do have our winners game of Vlad versus Vanguard, so we might see a kanji mirror here. And I'm going to ping those players and take a quick bathroom break before we get into this set.
Alright. So, how is shopping? How have your guys' days been going? It's Mike Swan. My day isn't solid. I was working on cleaning up my PS5 for like 3 hours, so that was tons of fun, I assure you. Not really. But, other than that, it's been a fairly chill day because I had an exam in the morning, but other than that, I've mostly kind of just been chilling. Hello, Spawn. How have you been? It's been a while since we've played. I normally said I'd play you in PFC, Spawn, but I'm probably not going to get the chance to today because I ended up cleaning my PS5. Actually, I might after this. I might. If you want to play after this tourney, we can, actually, Spawn.
Alright, waiting for our players to come up in here.
Yeah, also, I wasn't gonna mention until the end of the stream, Mark, but, if you want to, there's also, Frosty Faustins, I believe it should be starting up fairly soon, like probably within like an hour or something, it should be starting up, in fact, and that's one of our 2 biggest Persona brackets every year. Unfortunate. Yeah, we can play tomorrow, Spawn. I'm pretty open tomorrow. Oh, we're running another losers match?
Yeah, we're running losers here. But we're gonna see Khan versus Foe. I'm surprised Khan has made it so far, but he is a very, very decent kanji. Fighting him myself, I'd consider us even.
Yeah, Mark. I'm not really gonna talk about it too much till the end of the stream because I will segment into that at the end of the stream to give it a shout out. I think we get Frosties at Persona tonight. I think. Last year we had it Friday night.
Because I heard Big Pat was going to Frosties.
Yeah, I can ask someone and I can get back to you that by the time I get a response.
Alright, this is one of those good matchups for Kanji, actually. So let's see if he can capitalize on those big buttons.
Yeah, I think one thing we were talking about earlier was the fact that Kanji has an extremely easy time breaking the bull thanks to his high base damage on his buttons. However, we're seeing an early burst from Khan, which...
And we already saw 2 Persona cards being broken here.
Yeah, and I think since we talked so much about burst usage, I think not Shadow Lab, sorry. I guess it's not a wrong term. One that we do see from Shab is the fact that she's very good at when she gets a good burst off at Awakening HP. Burst Titanomachia is one of the best rewards you can get off successfully hitting a burst in this game.
Oh yeah, Shab has amazing damage off of like one more burst. Even in general.
Shab's big thing is that she's a very good character on average. She has very high damage, some of the highest damage in the game on average. She has top 3 set play in the game. She has incredible neutral, although her neutral is a little bit of inconsistent across the cast. Her defense is occasionally very good, occasionally very, very underwhelming. However, the big drawback being she does all this, but she's tied to 8k HP. And yeah, I think one that we've been seeing here, and as I mentioned, in fact, earlier about Foe, is that he doesn't really hold 5D a lot, which is why we saw like 3 or 4 Persona cards getting very broken very quickly. And due to Shab having 6 cards, for people who don't know, the more Persona cards you have, the longer it takes for you to regen from a Persona break as well.
Khan taking a round here against Foe, which is... We're seeing him break these Persona cards with ease. We're seeing him shut down whatever the bull wants to do, which is great.
Yeah, and seeing another Persona, seeing 2 cards broken already, not even 9 seconds into the round. We'll say one that's 3.
Holy.
I will say one that does work in the favor of Foe is the fact that they do have burst advantage, so they will be able to burst right after this.
Oh, hold up.
Now they should be able to get... Doesn't go for Titanomachia, actually. I wonder if maybe they just didn't have time to do it. I think they should have, though, for sure. Maybe they had a misinput.
Wow, that's game 1.
Yeah, hitting the grab. Do you know if Titanomachia is an AB input?
I don't know if it is, actually. I have a
because I think that's why we
under my belt, but I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't played much Shab. In fact, I haven't really played a lot of characters outside of like Ken and like a little bit of Narukami, so I don't really know a lot of the inputs for the supers and whatnot. But I think that might have been a misinput.
Maybe. But Khan taking the first
also,
set here.
Mark, since you were asking, Frosty Faustings isn't till tomorrow. It's, I don't know, I heard noon from the person I asked, but I don't know what time zone they're in, so if I can get a check back on that for you, then I will, then I'll shout it out at the end of the stream, or tell you when we have a downtime during commentary.
Another thing from chat I saw was, yeah, Shabry's here definitely has snowballing potential, so if Khan falls behind here, it could spell the round. Bad DP there, but maybe we'll see something. Bad roll too. I don't know. That could be game. Okay.
Yeah, this is probably going to be, with the D-grab punishing it, and that's going to be round.
Like I said, heavy snowball character. We saw it not that long ago at the PFC Monthly. We definitely saw what Shabry's could do.
Yeah, and now seeing the burst advantage and the fact that they have corner helping them out a lot, getting the DP though, which will actually corner the Shab, and they can't really move due to the shock, so they can't get out of the corner.
This is great usage of just locking him down. Foe not being
Yet
able to do
another persona break for Khan, which I think comes into the fact that Foe is not very good at protecting a Shab, which is an essential part to playing a puppet character, is protecting your puppet.
Definitely. We see a persona break, but they bait the DP.
Yeah, baiting the DP doesn't really get much reward off of it because Shab is very puppet trended for her combos. She does have some damage she can get without it, but it's not nearly as high as, you know, the average like 3k she's getting off of her hits. Is that okay? Doesn't get the punish there, and in fact punishes the punish attempt with the DP.
Yeah, punishing the eagerness here. Not a lot of meters, so we're not gonna see a lot.
And we're seeing a quick Shab DP, which one thing that I will say about Shab DP in comparison to Lab DP is that it's still guard point, but it's significantly faster than Lab DP. I want to say it's like either 15 or 22 frames, which is very specific, I know, but I feel like it's one of those two numbers. Let me check it on Dustloop real quick.
Alright.
I want to say, actually, I think it's like 22.
So that's Foe taking set 2, tying it up 1-1. This is set point for Khan and Foe here. So let's see. Khan taking a minute to compose himself. I get it.
I definitely like the call on composing themselves because I think one of the biggest things that a lot of people get caught up in tourneys is definitely the nerves.
Definitely taking a minute to compose yourself can definitely help.
And getting a glass of water definitely can really help and just slow you down, take some time to think about it. You know, the game one went a lot better for you than that game did, so definitely can give you some time to think. And then, where's your DP at? I want to see this character's DP.
This is going to be the final set. Khan took some time to compose himself, so let's see if we can see a turnaround here. Back to what the first set looked like.
Okay, yeah, I looked at it on Dustloop. Shab's DP is 15 frames, which is twice the speed which normal Labs is.
Wow. Let's see, because Foe has a lot of carelessness behind what he does with his persona. He doesn't like to block much with the persona. Early burst from Khan too.
Yeah, early burst, getting the shock, which does allow him to start up some offense. Misses the punish on that persona, but the 5C slapping anyways.
We're already seeing
the 2C whiffing the DP.
Another DP.
Another one broken due to persona. I think one that we could definitely see Khan do, Foe do is perhaps maybe using them like a 2C or a bull button, and then just waiting and doing nothing, so when Khan eventually presses, he can either get a whiff punish or he can punish the DP. This should be a punish, yeah.
Yeah, that we
I don't think this kills due to Kanji's HP, and I don't think, yeah. This will be the round though, for sure, if he doesn't drop. Which puts him on set point.
Good grab out of the air there. Making this a good situation for Kanji, but getting out really fast.
Yeah.
Nice.
Burst almost back for Khan too, which is pretty big. Not that I think he'll need it this round from the looks of things, but throwing it out. One of the big things that Shab is really good at is making people think you can burst, but then you can't due to her hurt box. And this is going to be round actually, I think. Is it? No, barely not. Barely.
Yeah, we haven't been seeing those grabs work out.
Yeah, I think the big thing is that I think he was getting a little too ambitious on the D grabs working. I think he got a little nervous, and I think he wanted to try to catch it with a big gimmick, and it just didn't really end up working, and that'll be Khan out at, I believe, 7th.
He made it to top 8, which is great.
Yeah, top 8, definitely respectable placement.
We see Foe moving on, though.
Also, Mark, we talked about it earlier. I believe Frosty's Persona tomorrow starts at 1 p.m. EST. But I would check around noon or 12:30 just to make sure, if you want to double check.
Here, let me get a refresh on the back bracket here so I can see what I'm looking at. Still in losers for round 5 though, so let's see. Alright, who do we have in losers right now?
Yeah, Mark, about that, I think the main use of the Awakening Super at higher levels for people who are used to it would definitely be calling out gaps and strings. I don't think the D1 would really work that well because it's so slow. Kind of similar to like normal D-Grab, it doesn't really work if people are aware of it, but C-Grab is pretty quick. I don't know the exact frames, but it actually is a legit reversal tool. And CD takes the damage of D-Grab with the speed of C-Grab. And obviously both have invincibility on them, since they're both invincible options.
Definitely. Kanji has some great options there. But what we're going to see now is Sand versus Ryuji here. Ryuzuzu is an amazing player overall, taking multiple big spots in tourneys. He did well in PFC Monthly. He's got his own brackets he's running. And he's got a lot of good characters under his belt.
Yeah, I will say, looking at the bracket earlier, Sand actually did take it 2-1 over Ryu off stream. Is this going to be a Mark or... Okay, yeah, no, he's just playing Yukari for this. I think at this point, I think Ryu is kind of just going to play Yukari for the rest of the bracket. Seems like the Yukari is playing hot, and I think he's mostly a Yukari player anyway, so really not too shocking.
Get ready for the grudge match. Having Sand taken out early, or taken Ryuji early out in the tournament, could mean that we could see a bunch of these characters getting used to how they're playing. We're seeing a lot of confidence in Sand, so maybe...
Yeah, Sand already getting...
Wow!
Baiting a DP, does get bursted into the corner, but he's actually playing very well, keeping on the Yukari, not letting them get that space. Unfortunately, the buttons don't convert that. I wouldn't really say it's getting a J2D. This is a really dominant round from Sand. He might get air block here. Yeah, he does.
I've been hit by that recently. I've been hit by that a couple times, but it won't lead to too much.
Yeah, it doesn't really lead to much is the nice thing, but I've definitely gotten hit by a Canadian burst, and Ryu might be able to convert off this and turn into... Yeah, he will be with the super for sure. Doesn't even need the super just due to Yukari's damage being so high, too. Yeah, catching the... I believe that was a dash back, actually.
A bad 2C from Adachi leading to some big punish damage.
Yeah, I will say, one thing that I've seen from Sand is he seems to be much more of a... Like, he seems to be really good at just calling people out and then going, oh, I think you're going to do this, and then doing it accordingly, but that does obviously have the issue of, if you are that kind of player, then it can definitely pay back if you aren't right in those reads.
Definitely. We're seeing him play a lot more passive now compared to the first round.
Yeah, I think the big thing is that once Yukari gets started, he can't really afford to be as impatient as he was. And I do wonder if perhaps after that, after what Ryu got off of one hit, I wonder if Santa's really thinking that maybe a little bit afraid now because he's been given a reason to be afraid of Ryu's pressure and all that.
Definitely. Seeing
Persona breaking there, bursting out.
Air grab, calling him out.
I will say one thing that I think you will see from Ryu, and this isn't really something that he does intentionally or anything, but this is just the nature of the game. Due to the way burst works in this game, I would say Yukari heavily benefits from the burst in this game. Because even if she's not bursted, like one thing, if Adachi bursts out the Yukari, like the Yukari does get to go back to zoning most of the time, which is really big, I would say.
And
however, Ryu taking it...
For unknowing players of this matchup, she has a couple ailments for her side. She can affect you with mute, which will just remove your persona. Really bad for Adachi. Charm, just really bad for me by overall. Will sap a bunch of your SP and give it to her. But she can also inflict panic. So make sure you're watching out for those special arrows.
Yeah, I think one thing to mention is that Kanji is one of the few DPs in this game that he actually needs his persona to use. So if he gets muted, he has no defensive options but to block against the Yukari outside of Awakening, which even... No, wait, never mind. This is Dachi, not Kanji, sorry.
It's still some good matchup knowledge to know if you're looking to get in this game. Or are a Kanji player yourself, even.
Yeah, I will say the one thing is that I'm pretty sure the Oki should honestly just safe jump Adachi because it's a 23 frame DP.
I believe it does, honestly.
Like, it safe jumps a lot of characters, if not just everyone in the roster, but especially against a character like Adachi who was given a 23 frame DP. Seeing the guard cancel there. Bursting to get them into the corner, breaking the Adachi's persona, which, as you were mentioning earlier, it's a very big thing for Adachi, and his solo buttons, as so to speak, despite the fact that they're not really solo.
Yeah,
because
his normals are really bad, and he makes up for them with his persona buttons.
Yeah, his buttons aren't so bad once he has persona buttons, because then he has general buttons, but like his JB isn't awful as an area tool, but when that's like your only neutral option, it's pretty rough.
It really is.
Going up and Ryu going up around, having burst advantage as well, and if he wins this round, he will be guaranteed a spot in top 4 loser side.
We'll see. We're definitely seeing this become Yukari's turn, though.
Yeah,
gotta
getting
watch out for the cross-ups, too.
the pressure. I don't think this kills, however, it doesn't due to the drop anyways, but one thing I will say is that Yukari is able to do a lot of unburstable stuff, which is something that we might see from Ryozuzu later on in the bracket, or perhaps even later on in the set if Sand is able to turn this around.
Using some meter here to get some damage. Trying to catch up. Forgoing Mandala or even Heat Riser here just for damage. We're seeing Gary Hell come out here too.
Yeah, getting the hit doesn't convert. Yeah, not really a clean hit either. I think 2B would have worked slightly better there, as it is a dodgy optimal starter, and I think he would have converted a little bit better off the anti-air, but it doesn't really matter anyways, since that grab is going to close out the set 2-0 for Ryu.
There you go.
Which makes our next set, I believe, Foe and Doge, Caster?
Yep, that's our next set. That's our last for losers round 5. Something interesting about this is Foe was almost a DQ for this tourney, but he decided to come in last minute. And he's certainly showing his dominance here in losers.
Yeah, I will say my laptop's getting low, and that is how I'm reading chat. So I will come back in a moment. I'll be back probably like round 2 of the set. I just need to go grab the charger real quick.
All right.
Please select your captain.
All right, so we're gonna see Labrys versus Shabrys here. For those who don't know, there are advantages and disadvantages. Shabrys is more of a puppet character, while Labrys more or less operates on her own and uses her persona more for pressure. Labrys has some amazing persona specials that really lock down the opponent to get her going. But, you know, with Shabrys, she has the bull. And the bull certainly does things. Both these characters really being snowball characters. So we're gonna see who gets their snowball rolling faster here. Both characters looking really even right now. We almost saw Red Axe there, but we're back on yellow. It looks like Foe's really shutting down the bull here. We're on Red Axe for now, but we're going back down. Oh, bad DP. Oh, but covers with a super. Okay, this is going good so far. There aren't really any disadvantages to this matchup. I consider this even, just like somebody in chat said. There are some advantages and disadvantages. One point brought up earlier was Shabrys DP being twice as fast as Labrys's. So we'll see what round 2 does here. Red Dax already technically an advantage for Labrys here.
Yeah, coming back, we can see that Doge has Red Axe, and the burst is fairly even. Slight advantage for Doge while also having the health advantage. And did a moment ago have corner positioning, but that now is on the side of Foe. Yeah, getting the DP out there.
Yeah, as I was saying earlier, these characters are both heavy snowballing characters. It's just who can get their game started faster.
Yeah, I would say normal Lab is definitely more of a dedicated snowball character, whereas Shab is just a character that happens to have really good snowball, but definitely a thing that Lab excels at is her snowball through the use of yellow and red axe.
Something Lab definitely has in her favor this matchup is that spike move. On SB, it will track, so if you're caught on the ground, you are forced to take some pressure.
Yeah, I was thinking an interesting interaction that Smawn mentioned in chat, who actually is a bit of a Lab player himself. I think he mains Liz, but secondary is the shadow type Labrys, is that Axe normals on block on Bull. I believe what he is saying is that it actually gives them more Axe gauge due to the Bull block. I believe so. I think that's what he's saying anyways.
And I see, yeah, another good point brought up by chat is Shabrys' lower HP, leading to Labrys being able to deny Awakening with her huge damage output. But we are going to see Awakening from Shab here anyway.
This should be round for Photo, giving him game 1.
Yeah, definitely.
Of the set.
Very even players.
Yeah, even players, even matchup too, as Small was saying, due to the fact that Lab has interactions in this matchup that go in her favor, despite the fact that she's traditionally seen as a significantly weaker character than Shab.
Definitely.
Please select your captain.
I'm excited to see how set 2 will go here. Maybe we'll see an adaptation.
Yeah, definitely possible that we do end up seeing one. Starting off with the counter hit, air to air JB. Getting some Oki going, but getting able to just DP out.
Not really able to get much axe gauge off yet, but we are on yellow.
Yeah, just seeing the yellow now, which is a pretty good thing, as far as I know, yellow, it goes blue and green, gray to green share routes, and then yellow and red share routes. The only difference being the damage between them.
Seeing some of that big stab damage coming out, though. Getting caught out by the end of the super there. Can't press too soon. Oh no, that's game. That's round 1.
Round 2.
Yeah, seeing round 1. Having a small burst advantage, nothing too big though, so it doesn't really play that much of a factor in this. And then getting another hit though.
Shab start snowballing here.
Going for some Oki. I will say, one thing I've noticed from Foe is that he's actually really good at mixing up his Okis too. Shab is one of the characters that has many different Oki options. She has Laser Oki, she has Bite Oki, and then she has, I believe, 2C Oki. I believe those are her Oki options.
However, despite that, watch out right now because we've got Red X on the board right now.
Yeah, and actually, despite all that's happened, despite it feeling like the fact that Foe perhaps had more of the advantage this round, Doge actually had the health advantage there.
Definitely.
I wonder. I think with OMB, this kills. Yeah, it didn't OMB there, but with OMB and a super, he definitely could have actually won the game right then and there. However, that doesn't. I think the auto combo. Yeah, could definitely extend here. Not seeing a Titano Maki after seeing it now.
Okay. We're holding DP here, but it's okay.
None of that hitting, actually blocking all of that incredibly well.
Gold burst, we're seeing, okay.
Yeah, gold burst breaking the persona.
Nice for those who mix. That was amazing mix up there. One more canceling the overhead hit for the low.
Yeah, that's something that you will see lab players go for a fair bit. Also, one thing to mention as to those who don't know why the burst broke the persona there, burst actually counts as a hit against a persona. Which is part of why some characters such as Adachi are so bad when they have one persona card, is because you can just burst it and then they get persona broken. But we're seeing Doge getting the hit here, putting Foe down pretty low. That should just be game.
Yeah, that's it.
That'll be game. Being nearly a perfect there to close out the second game of the set, tying them up 1-1.
Yeah, this is going to be great. We're going to see... This is a great matchup just to show you the differences between these characters.
Please select your captain.
I'm excited to see how this last set will go, since both these characters still amazing snowballing potential, really good mix-up opportunities off of some things. Both of these characters also just having their own like strong suits. Lab loves locking you down with her buttons for sure, and her persona specials, while Shab loves to demand space control and Oki off of Bull, which is still amazing.
Yeah, seeing that
super,
beating out the DP super, actually, which is another thing I don't think we've seen a lot today, actually, but a very big defensive part of the defensive mind game in this is that if somebody blocks your DP, you can actually cancel it into a super, which beats them trying to punish it for most character/matchups.
Definitely.
Which is kind of...
First punish, but it's okay.
Yeah, I think one that... if people here play Guilty Gear, you'll probably know about DP Roman cancel, and that's a really big thing in that game. That's basically this game's version of it, except the fact that it's a bit more committal. It's a bit more committal if they do actually bait it out.
Definitely.
And one thing that we actually see there is that Shab can actually use her DP as both a combo starter and a pressure tool if she has the bull backing her up.
Definitely. It goes back to a point I made earlier about her getting a lot of Oki and space control off of her bull. So we might see a lot here.
Baiting out the DP there, getting the doesn't convert though, but still some small damage. This going to go into
okay.
the beating out the bite, tried to beat the delay tech through the bite, which would have probably given him round, and I think no, not round. Doesn't the DP actually doesn't work out there.
We're seeing a push block here, so that's okay. Getting hit
messing
by the back
up
end
the
of the
punish
super.
there, having to burst out. And this
could be game.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be game actually. That's gonna be game slash set, putting up 2-1 to Dogecaster.
Moving
which
on
sets
while
up
Foe is out of the tourney.
Yeah, which sets up for a loser semis match, Ryu, Zuzu, and Doge, but I believe it would be switching to winners finals now?
I believe we are switching to winners finals.
Which will be
Lad and Vanguard.
Yeah, which is gonna be a conjuring. We haven't seen either of them play for I would say a fair bit now. Like probably like what, 40 minutes I think it's been?
I think
Give or
so,
take?
yeah. Not very often you see a kanji mirror here.
Yeah, definitely not a matchup that looking at the tier list you would perhaps expect out of a winners finals of a tourney.
But we are, yeah, this is loser semis for sure. Or no, this is winners finals. So both of these
this is winners finals.
Both of these people are definitely like heavy captains for their character.
Yeah, I think something worth noting is that this whole tourney it's been first to 2, and this is going to be your first to 3 set of the night actually.
Yep, this is going to be first to 3. From now on, our sets will be longer.
All right, let's do this.
And a point from a while ago now was Shadow Kanji. I don't see much of it because I don't know if you can get much off of Shadow Frenzy mechanics.
So to my understanding, the damage is fine if you get if you have 100 meter or specifically 57 or more, but to do the big damage you need specifically 57 meter on Shadow, which can make it to one of the big advantages of Shadow is that if they have like 40 meter, they can get a quick damage cast out that's also unburstable, and Shadow Kanji can't do that. Also, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I don't think Shadow Kanji is actually that good at getting the unburstable part of Shadows. I'm pretty sure most of his Shadow routes that do the optimal damage also have a point where you can burst them because he doesn't frenzy till later on in the route. I might be wrong on that though. Seeing this, Vanguard already having a big advantage in whiffing the D-grab there, doesn't get punished. And Lad giving up the burst, which is a really big hero burst.
Here.
However, big starter and the Persona break could definitely be the start something huge. He doesn't have DP here. Yeah, getting hit with the strike. Getting hit with 2 strikes actually. Does have burst back.
Okay.
Another punish.
Uh-oh.
However,
yeah,
going for the
round.
D-grab there. I think one thing I would like to see Lad do is probably just go for less D-grabs because he's gotten him punished a lot this set already. Just within the first round alone. And I think generally outside of like gimmicks, Kanji's D-grab is just much worse than his C-grab overall.
Definitely.
Has some use cases, but it's generally you're going to want to do C-grab.
D-grab is super duper fast compared to D-grab, but there are situations where you might prefer it.
Yeah, getting the shot, going for it. I do wonder one that we might see from these players. One that I really like to do into Kanji grab is I like to call it out with a hop so I can actually get a consistent full combo punish on the fan grab. It's a little bit harder timing wise than just holding up or slash jump, but I do wonder if we might see that from either of these players, specifically when they're shocked.
Definitely.
Getting the away but just bursting out immediately.
A good call out on the jump for sure.
I think this will actually. I don't know if this kills.
If he
Yeah,
were,
nowhere
it
close
might.
to the Kanji HP. I wouldn't really expect to see one more
Oh, there
burst there just
goes.
because they are in a pretty good situation, but that is going to be around anyways.
Get over here. Final round.
Good roll for grab. We've seen that from them in the past for sure.
Yeah, I think we saw Vanguard actually do that a lot in the first round versus Sand in winter semis. However, yeah, Lad getting a quick advantage in this. Burst advantage, has the stage positioning
this could
too,
be his game.
and has the HP advantage. Doesn't get the
Advantage,
JC
no
starter.
persona. Okay, but he's got it back.
Not a perfect, but still, just gonna early burst. I don't really know if I agree with the early burst, but I can see the reason behind it. You want to even let them get started and not quite gonna
Bait the burst. There you go.
great
And
burst
that will
bait
be
there to
set
just
one
take the game.
for Lad's favor. Lad showing why both these characters showing what hard reads can get you.
Yeah, I think one that generally the grappler class excels at as a whole in fighting games is just the idea of just hard reading someone and getting great rewards off of it.
There's so much that goes into the kanji mirror when it comes to guesswork because it is, you can throw out anything and either get punished for it or you're going to hit because it is a constant reading game on both sides. Jumping is not safe. Neutral can be taken at any point. And in pressure, you have to guess when it's your turn.
Round one.
And a point Mark brings up in that is blocking against your own, guessing against your own character can be difficult at times.
Yeah, especially one that is a mixed machine on Oki such as Kanji. Or even just in general block strings, you can definitely mix in command grab there too and get a lot of good openers there, specifically off of the 5B.
There's the DP, putting in shock.
JC doesn't hit, getting punished for that grab attempt.
Being punished for jumping too.
Doesn't hit his
Burst on
reset
both
there.
sides.
We saw Vanguard try to go for the Persona air grab there, and it just didn't work out, which I think might be the first time I've seen someone actually tech properly against that. And I think he did a forward tech for that, in fact. I think that's the tech I saw anyways. Breaking Vanguard's Persona.
Yeah, that was
Hold up.
a good punish there.
Doesn't punish that grab either. Air grab barely missing.
We're seeing a bit of SP waste. You know what? You know that happens sometimes when you use air moves too close to the ground.
Oh, actually going for a DP there.
Wow.
I think the one it doesn't kill. Wait, hold up. Doesn't kill.
Hold on. There you go.
And punishing the DP. I think the one thing worth noting is that Kanji can actually use his DP on offense as a way to cover more options at the expense of lower reward and much higher risk if they just block.
Definitely.
But I have seen Kanjis do that as a way to bait out DPs and the like, since it does do that, whereas a usual 5A or 5B would not in the same situation.
Definitely. In last round, we definitely saw something with a downside of Kanji, his air dash being incredibly slow. He couldn't punish a whiff grab.
Yeah, the biggest weakness of Kanji in this game is definitely his movement. Like, he's basically, when you play him, it feels like he's moving in, like, sand. It's so slow, but, so you can see a lot of times where other characters would punish. I think Kanji just has to miss out due to his movement speed.
Wow.
G-grabbing through
G-grab
there. I
beating
think
that.
that's killed. That's death. Oh, no.
Oh,
No,
the
I thought that
burst
actually would have killed. I think in the corner you can go straight into the chair, but not mid-screen. That's why that
Wow,
worked out
okay.
for Vanguard.
Vanguard
Taking that
clutching the
round, but there is a big burst advantage on the side of Lad.
Definitely. We're already seeing some big damage. But it's Lad's turn now with shock. Wow.
You're getting the shock,
lead.
getting
the big
big 5C
that.
counter hits. Yeah, one of the big things about Kanji is if he goes on stuff like rolls, DPs,
Oh,
etc.,
man,
he's seen
that
almost
was
do
a
absolutely massive damage. Yeah, fast last round, and with that, Lad going up. I think, is it 1-1? I think it's 1-1.
I think it's 0-2 actually.
It's 2-0 for Lad? Okay.
Yeah.
I think you might be right on that. I'm not really sure, to be honest.
Alright, let's do this!
This is set point for Lad here, so let's see what happens.
Round 1. Go!
Already full meter from that gold burst. Going for a yellow combo, which works out.
Yeah, no tech there, and Vanguard already getting the burst.
Wow, that's really smart. Canceling their shoulder tackle into an anti-air grab.
Getting some Oki going with the chair.
Wow, air grab being a really strong tool.
Yeah, seeing another air grab hit. No Oki there. I think he might have meant to do 5D and timed it too early. And there, just going through, bursting out, resetting that neutral game that I think we've seen Vanguard excel at as a player is definitely his neutral game. Getting the burst himself, though, no Persona. Crouching the air grab, though.
Oh, no, it won't.
Oh, no.
There you go.
Claims round anyways, though. And with that, Vanguard going up around.
This is
And burst being even for both players.
This mirror will definitely show the flaws and strengths of this character for sure. C-grab beating out C-grab here.
Yeah, going for Lightning Oki. And then just getting another counter. And I think one thing that we've seen them both do a lot is just hanging back after the Lightning Oki, getting a panic response, and then just punishing with the 5C. I wonder if maybe we'll see them adapt to be able to just slowly not fall for that as much.
Vanguard trying to call out here.
Is that a D-grab? Yeah, that's gonna... No punish, though. I think that was more mistiming than the Kanji issue, because Kanji definitely could have punished there. Yeah. And this doesn't kill. It doesn't kill. It's 1 HP off. Oh, it does, because the combo's into 2B.
Yep.
So cute, you'll die. Final round.
Another D-grab.
Getting another... That was a D-grab? Okay. I think that was C, actually. I think that's the damage for C-grab.
Alright, going for our Lightning Oki here. We're
Going
locked
for
in
Lightning
place
Oki.
because of shock.
Hanging back again, yeah.
Shocked again.
And another counter hit given due to the 5D/5C
Wow.
pressure.
Another, like, great air grab here.
Getting a starter, getting that 5A, gonna loop it back. Getting a no-tech combo, but not as much reward as perhaps you would like off that.
Definitely not. Alright, we're seeing
And I
Persona break
believe
on
I saw
both
Vanguard
sides.
self-awaken there, yeah. Seeing Persona break.
Another great air grab. Air grab is a serious pressure tool. Both the Personas coming back. And we're seeing him put them to use immediately. Uh-oh.
That's going to be a C-grab, giving it to... Which is going to be either 2-1 for Lad or 3-0. I'm really
pretty
sure.
That's set point for Lad. I think
yeah, I think it is set. But we'll see, because I don't really remember who won game 1, if I'm being honest. I think you're right on Lad, but it could be 2-1 as well.
I'm pretty sure Lad just went 3-0.
Yeah, looking like it by Vanguard taking a little bit more time out, which sets up Ryu, Zuzu, and Dogecaster and loser semis. Which puts Lads on winner side of Grand Finals.
Wow.
Winner of this set coming up will play Vanguard in losers finals. Okay, also, since you have a little bit of downtime, I would like to make a correction earlier. Frosty Faustings for Persona starts at 12 p.m. EST tomorrow, not 1 p.m. EST.
Man.
Yes, Ryu is in losers. He got knocked down 2-1 by Sand, who he just beat last set. He was on.
Waiting on Ryu here, perhaps taking a bit more time to collect himself before the games begin. Or not Ryu, Sand. Oh my gosh, 3 times wrong. We're waiting on Doge here, perhaps taking a bit more time to compose himself before the matches begin.
That would make sense. I think, from what I've seen, Doge has been having a bit more of closer calls within this losers than Ryozuzu has. In fact, it seems like since Ryozuzu's hit losers after entering losers, he's kind of just been on a roll. I don't, actually, let me check, but I don't think he's dropped a game so far in losers bracket. Yeah, ever since hitting losers, he's had a flawless record. Clean 8-0 so far in games.
We did, okay, that's interesting. We're seeing Dogecaster go back to playing Yosuke.
I can definitely understand this because I would imagine that the Labras Yukari matchup seems pretty, honestly, it seems pretty rough.
It does seem like a rough matchup, so I can respect him switching to Shadow Yosuke to try to get in a little more.
And I think the two things that Shadow Yosuke has in this match is the significantly better defense, as well as the better movement to get in on the Yukari.
Definitely. Already getting some early hits in here. Not so
getting it started.
Often.
I will say the one thing he's going to lose out is that, despite the fact that he's going to probably be able to get out of Yukari's offense and get offense more often himself, he doesn't have that same snowball potential that normal Labras has through the use of the axe mechanic.
And something
however,
you finish.
Due to the 8.5k HP though, I think it would not be. Shadow Yosuke can definitely 3-tap the Yukari here, which is an ideal thing that you want in this game. Is you definitely want to be either 2 or 3 tapping people, 4 tapping like the absolute most as a Shadow.
Definitely, but definitely a downside to picking Shadow here is the fact that you don't really have access to burst. You're spending a huge resource when you burst out of combos.
Yeah, I will say personally, my kind of thoughts on the Yukari matchup is I actually don't like bursting against her unless it's absolutely necessary due to the fact that it puts her in such a good neutral position. So I think against Yukari in specific, I don't really think you're losing all that much. However, if they convert here, this should be death. Is it? It's gonna be death. It's gonna be close for sure.
Okay.
One off, but honestly, 15 seconds on the clock.
Margarula mix.
Yeah, 14 seconds left, and only 1 hit away. Yeah, it doesn't even Margarula. I'm kind of shocked that didn't track there. 6, and then yeah, just getting the 5A there.
Very close on the time.
Yeah, I think that's one that we can see is Yukari is one of the best characters in the game at just playing for the timer. Especially if the other person plays back very slow. We can see rounds go on really long to the point to where timer will be a legitimate threat, whereas normally in this game, timer isn't really a real threat.
Definitely. Yukari definitely makes use of the timer in a way that will stress out the opponent if they can't get in. It will really force them to play unsafe and lead to more straight hits and confirms. And I do think we saw a little bit of that just now with Dogecaster running in pretty blindly and getting hit.
Yeah, which is gonna, barely gives round there, but it did regardless. Setting up even bursts as well, so that's going to be an even game going into this last round.
Definitely. Shadow Burst here being a really good tool here to have in final round. Easy to close out.
Yeah, this is definitely an ideal situation for a Shadow character to have.
Lots of meter to work with too, making Shadow Burst a very viable option right now. Good pickup, but drops it.
That due to the EX version of that being used, it actually was safe.
Are you trying to call out with an air grab but whiffs it? Another really good bit of matchup for Yukari here is throwing out bombs in neutral really means a lot to Yosuke, really limiting his
And this I don't know what's going to be around. I don't think he has time to actually pop the super. Oh, yeah. Actually, no. With how low that was, I actually do think he kills with the poison and whatnot. Do you wonder if we're going to see... Doesn't... Last hit... And no, doesn't actually get that either. Yeah, and the arrow just clipping him last hit, going up 1-0.
Unfortunate.
Also, since it's the semis, you're doing first to 2 or 3 here?
This is first to 3.
Okay.
Please select your captain.
Definitely, as these matches get closer and closer to their finals, we're seeing a lot more excitement in general, which could lead to a lot of stress. So hopefully it's not taking too bad of a mental toll on our opponents here. Nerves play a huge role in tourneys and can often lead to drop games.
Yeah, I think the most important skill to have in a tourney is a strong mental game. And I would say that goes into a few things, but to add on to perhaps strong mental game to get a bit more specific, it's both the mentality to be able to go GG's go next while also having the endurance to play through it, since obviously playing so many sets, specifically for Ryuzuzu, he's played like 5 or 6 sets already today, it still has like 4 more to go. It's a big thing in these brackets to just be able to play through and not get tired, as obviously I think one that a lot of people probably struggle with is playing in for like an hour or 2 and then they kind of just burn out midway through.
Definitely, and another just amazing thing here is Ryu got knocked out super early and has been going flawless since.
Yeah, again, 9-0 in games. However, Doge definitely bringing that first game was extremely close, so I do think we could see Doge take a game here.
Oh, but a DP. Opting to get hit here.
Getting another Mongo, just
unfortunate.
Getting hit by it.
Round 5C. Her persona buttons are really strong.
Getting that mix going, getting the OMB here. He's not doing an unburstable route. Oh, damage. Actually, it might be unburstable from here. This might kill. This might kill unburstable. Barely doesn't. And just, yeah, what a dominant second round to go up 2-0 in the set.
That'll be 2-0. This is set point for Ryu here, so let's see what he can do with it.
Please select your captain.
Almost switching to normal here, debating if the Awakening Health is worth it. And Awakening Health can definitely help out in a matchup like this, with Margarilla definitely being on the table.
So yeah, going into this, we're seeing the swap to normal, so I think the big thing is that, oh, actually we're not. We're seeing Shadow. My fault.
Yeah, we were debating it. Awakening Health can definitely be helpful against Yukari here. Early burst, really wants to keep up his momentum.
Yeah, we're seeing that, I'm gonna say, quote, dive kick there from the Yosuke to try to punish them for perhaps trying to press on them in the air.
Definitely. J2C is a really good mix-up tool.
Yeah, got the 5... Okay, we're finally gonna see Ryo Zuzu convert a hit this round, which is where the party gets started for Yukari. Obviously, herself having no issue, but just DPing out, which is a really good option. Most characters can't DP out there, but one of the advantages of Yosuke is that he can't, I believe he just outright cannot get DP'd. Not get DP'd, outright cannot get safe jumped in this game due to his DP.
Definitely not. He's got one of the safer DPs in the game in this Whip.
Even then on Whip, it's a pretty shorter window to punish it, where if you're not used to it, it can be a little bit hard.
It's got a lot of active frames, which can lead to a bunch of situations where you think it's over and still get hit anyways. I see it's a
yeah, for those
issue.
who don't know, the timing on to punish the Yosuke DP is actually you wait for the Yosuke to lower the kunai. Once they lower the kunai, it's over. That's like the big thing that I've always done to punish it. Obviously, as time goes on, you'll obviously get the feeling down for it too, but just to start, you can have the visual cue, and I will say if you react, you may need to hit with like an A-normal, but I mean, getting a small combo is a lot better than getting nothing or getting deep, or getting countered because you did it too early.
A lot of Margarula orbs coming out here. Getting a stray hit, confirming it. There's gonna be big damage.
Yeah, gonna be big damage going in for the Oki. This is one more hit away from death. That's gonna be it for the game. If they don't drop, it's gonna be game, and that's gonna be 3-0 for Ryu Zuzu, moving on to fight Vanguard.
Ryu fighting Vanguard. A Kanji versus a Yukari. Yeah, matchup. Grappler versus Zoner. But don't count out Kanji. It might seem like a silly matchup, but there is so much behind it. Because Kanji can out-neutral Yukari sometimes if she gets called out.
I will say the big thing is that it's not Kanji's worst matchup, shockingly enough, that actually goes to Liz, which is arguably the worst matchup in the game. But it's one of the rougher matchups in the game, and like a bottom 3 or so matchup for Kanji.
Definitely. Oh wait, it's Lad. It's Lad. My bad.
Wait. Oh, you had a winner side. Oh.
So this match definitely doesn't count. Lad won, but rematch versus Mina. Here's your Mina crossover.
Oh, we're actually seeing a Minazuki swap here. Bit of a better matchup on paper. I have seen Vanguard play this pick before, but I don't think he's nearly as experienced in it, which... Also, we're seeing Ryu Zuzu go Shadow Yukari, perhaps deciding to just spend the remaining gas he has left in the tank for these last 3 sets.
It's supposed to be Lad being played. I messed up a little bit. But this could be a great showcasing for people who don't play this game, what Minazuki could do. For those who don't know, there's a character very similar to this, and aptly named Sho Minazuki. We separate the two by persona. One of them is personalist and more focused on mix-up, which we aptly named Sho. He does not have any persona and relies more on more normals and mix-up. But this is Minazuki. He has a persona which will grant him more neutral tools. Overall, he gets a teleport, he gets a grab, which does a lot of damage. So
Come forth. You're an ice. You're an ice.
Yeah, Burst going even into this last round, and I will say the other thing about Mina is that Mina is almost the secondary shadow in this game for those who play like Street Fighter or Guilty Gear. Norikami is more that Kai / Ryu, while Minazuki is more of the Ken / Soul bad guy of this game. In the sense that while he is still by definition a Shoto, he is also more of a rushdown character.
Definitely.
While being one.
He's definitely got more tools to get in and pressure you.
Yeah, and also, compared to normal show, one thing you mentioned is that show's more mix-based. Meanwhile, Minazuki is big on that strike throw game, obviously having a very strong command grab. And also, Minazuki having generally some of the best normals in the game. Not necessarily in their range, and they're not necessarily the quickest buttons in the game, but the combination of the range and how quick they go makes them very oppressive. Obviously, JB being a very infamous button. Yeah, JB, 5A, two of the most oppressive buttons in the game, and that being the first game that Ryu Zuzu has dropped all time in losers, which is going up 1-0 for Vanguard. Also, as Mark mentioned in chat, yes, Mina's staggers are very good on top of the very good strike throw as well. Seeing just a raw teleport there.
While teleport can work out for this character, if they get caught out in arrow spam, it can mean a lot of damage.
Yeah, I will say, the other thing is that, I think for people who are playing other fighting games with teleports, primarily MK, is that you might expect to be punishable on block, but it's actually safe on block. To the point, so you actually have to do specific stuff such as 2Bs or making it whiff for it to actually punish, baiting out the DP there that's going to be round, going into round, no, dropping it.
Almost picking up, but 2D whiffing. Big damage.
A huge counter hit. Getting the Magarula mix. Going to kill if he gets... Unfortunate, just DPing out there. Tries to DP out, but Ryo Zuzu baits it out. I will say that also, due to the time stalled, another big thing there is that I actually got a fair bit of burst back as well. However, seeing a bit of slow pace neutral there doesn't convert, unfortunately. I also will say, another thing that we can note about Minazuki that I think we mentioned with Yosuke is that Minazuki actually doesn't always get safe jumps off all of his knockdowns, if I recall correctly. I think off his standing B&Bs, which don't convert to teleport, he actually doesn't get any, he doesn't get a safe jump, if I recall correctly.
I don't think so at all, yeah.
Meanwhile, obviously, for those who have played this game, they know that the common thing on Oki in this game is a safe jump. Persona breaking there. Only needs one more hit, that should be it. No, barely not, however, getting that projectile to do it.
Definitely a good choice.
Giving him also big burst advantage here, which is huge, as obviously Yukari being one of the best characters in the game at abusing burst. Even without Magarula, it just resets to neutral in a situation that's so favorable for zoners in this game, and Yukari is obviously the best zoner in the game.
Definitely.
For a multitude of reasons, if not outright the best character in the game. Seeing another big hit and another Persona break here from Vanguard.
Already seen a pickup though.
Dropping the combo again. I wonder if we're starting to see a bit of nerves from Ryo Zuzu. She's been dropping a fair bit more this round than what I feel like we've seen in previous sets. This might kill. Yeah, this will. If it doesn't, another commentator's curse, perhaps. However, that going to close it out, tying it up 1-1. Also, as someone in chat pointed out, I am sorry, Akihiko is actually the best zoner in the game. I sorry for lying.
Forgot. Dude,
that's my fault.
He's got that one super, that's full screen hitting. Really great zoning tool. That
lightning super that's minus 50 on block, it's broken.
Dude.
Needs immediate nerfs in 3.0. Can't believe we haven't gone to 3.0 yet.
5 arena. It's just too broken.
Scubus, I'm sorry, but I actually think that Yosuke isn't a very good zoner. I think his zoning is actually worthless. EVN. It is right now 1-1.
Seeing some of the mental pressure those airs can put in, making you want to press buttons for sure.
Yeah, I do think that one thing that we can mention about the shows is that their AoE can actually cross up, and it depends on the timing. You can fuzzy block to where it never happens if you don't know the ranges and all that, because the side switch will always come out later than if it hits on the same side. But it is something that we will perhaps see, because it also covers a fair bit of distance. It's not really nothing necessarily great on paper, but it's a bit of a knowledge check that could work. And getting punished for that super doesn't lead to much, obviously, but yeah, just closing out that round with a burst advantage.
Definitely something good here. We could see Ryu take another set here. But Sho definitely has the ability to just take things into his advantage really quickly with his high damage supers and meterless damage.
Getting 4K into a bit of pressure, but doesn't really get much. I think try to bait her to DP and just no DP given out by Ryuzuzu. And this is going to go corner to corner with another Oki situation. Back to what I mentioned earlier about her ending 95% of her damage in the corner. But I will say we've seen a lot of drops from Ryuzuzu. Perhaps we could see Vanguard perhaps prey on those nerves a little bit here. Goes into Awakening. Magarula. Again, for those who don't know, Magarula probably being the single best set play tool in the game. Seeing an awkward trade there. Yeah, I will say for those who don't know, we haven't seen this a lot, is that Yukari is very good at getting hit, but the thing is that her arrows don't go away on hit, so they can actually trade, which can stop the hit advantage / you converting, and it's really big at times and can be really obnoxious.
It is a really obnoxious tool that could really put an end to your game plan.
Yeah, and seeing 4.3k there, such a big hit. That's like half of Yukari's life, as she's an 8.5k character since she doesn't have Shadow.
Even up.
Yeah, a quick even it up, as Minazuki is also an 8.5 character, I believe. That's gonna be game.
Yep,
yeah,
there it goes. One touch is needed.
Oh, and correction, Minazuki is a 9k HP character. He's one of the two in the game.
Okay.
I believe the only other character with 9k HP in this game is Aegis, actually.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes, Con, it is 2-1 in Ryuzuzu's favor now. And yes, it is 9k. Oh, Marie also has 9k HP. So those are the three. Reset. I feel like Reset is 8.5. I thought there was way less 9k.
Somebody wake me.
Narukami is 9.5k. 9.5k is the average HP in this game.
Not enough.
My bracket literally just broke on me, so now update your own scores.
Getting the AoE there, something that we haven't really seen Ryuzuzu pull out too much this tourney.
Worked on his favor though, catching him off guard with it. And this is
big hit and gonna close it out. Going on set point for the tourney.
No, we still have Lad after this, don't we?
Oh, I meant set point for the set. That's my bad. Going up big health advantage.
Definitely. This could just
going down to Awakening. Honestly, at this point, Ryuzuzu really doesn't even have to do much. Just play it. Just play it. You have 70 seconds of the clock, so I mean, Vanguard definitely has time to take it. Patience. But that
plenty
could
of
still
meter to
definitely be a
work with. Oh,
factor.
it's
However,
over.
that's gonna be it. Gonna end it with a Persona break and that super. Also, I was wrong. Marie, Rise, Aegis, and Mina are the 9K characters of the game. Yeah, that's right. I got it off. I thought Rise was a 8.5, and I thought Marie was a 9.5. To be honest.
All right, let's get Lad in here.
And that's gonna lead us into grand finals, which is gonna be Lad, who I'm assuming is gonna be playing Kanji. I don't really see us swapping to Junpei. It's a better matchup in theory for Junpei, I believe. I'm not really too sure on that though, if I'm being honest. But I think his Kanji can definitely make up the gap. And for those who have not tuned into double elimination brackets before, or just want a bit of a refresher, Ryozuzu needs to win 2 sets to win the tourney now, while Lad only needs 1 set here.
Yep, he needs to reset the bracket here in order to get the victory. So let's just see if both players taking time here, but we're finally here.
Yeah, as I predicted, we're gonna see the Kanji and the Yukari matchup being our final set of the night. Well, technically 2, but technically it's 2 sets, but Grands usually kind of gets put in as 1.
These sets will spell who's the first champion of this tourney. This is the first time hosting this.
Yeah, and we're already seeing a sweep. Seeing Lad just not even having to go through the maze that is the Yukari's projectiles, getting them in the corner. DP letting them out of the corner. That's one of the great things about Yukari DP, is that due to it advancing so far, it can actually be kind of hard to punish at times where you'd have a much easier time punishing other DPs.
Definitely.
Which is what we saw there.
Working out here in Lad's favor is he plays a very confident Kanji. He doesn't.
Yeah,
he's
for
not
sure.
Afraid to get in.
We're already seeing this. I think one that we will see from Lad in this, from Ryozuzu in this matchup as well, is I think he's going to be going for a lot of mute so he doesn't have to deal with the Kanji DP, which is obviously one of the best, a very good DP, not one of the best DPs in the game due to its flaws, but it is still a very good DP. Seeing a bit of a hero burst there from Lad.
Wow.
We're getting the corner control. This is actually potentially 1 hit away from death. Just opting to spend the meter there to cut off some awakening HP though, which I do respect. Going for an air grab reset, Ryozuzu not falling. Once again, meshes up the punish. I think what's happening there is Kanji doesn't jump back enough to actually get the JC, so I think we're going to have to see a bit more of a commitment than jump back to bait out these DPs.
Yeah, definitely. Kanji DP doing work. And we're gonna get some damage off this. A decent life lead for Lad here.
Yeah, 4K. Getting the strike gonna put Ryozuzu into awakening.
With DP though, this could easily even out the round.
Yeah, it won't even it out in 1 hit, but I mean this could definitely be a 2-tap with one more burst.
Nice.
Oh, Maga not hitting
tackle
there. This is gonna hit, but Maga not gonna do as much damage as it usually would. It's damage about cut in half there. We're doing like 1K instead of the usual 2.7 if it's unscaled. Getting the Persona break. Obviously, Yukari, though, a very good character, even without her Persona, due to the fact that she doesn't need her Persona for a lot of things. And just giving up a Canadian burst to close out Game 1 for Ryozuzu. Going up 1-0 in the tourney. In the set, sorry.
1-0 for potential bracket reset here.
Alright, let's do this!
If Lad keeps losing, we might see a switch, but it's highly unlikely.
Yeah, I think personally, I don't really know if I'd honestly even like to see a switch out of Lad. I think Kanji was doing relatively well. Obviously, I think the big thing was that, despite how rough it could be in neutral, I kind of felt like that Lad was keeping up pace in neutral. It was just the fact that Ryozuzu was making his call outs on the defense, not really getting caught out by Lad's mix and all
Definitely
that.
Not.
And also the fact that I think he might not be perhaps having issues remembering how to deal with the Yukari deep, because I think I'm not sure jump back JC doesn't work against Yukari. I'm not gonna say that for sure, but it doesn't look as if he does. As if it does, to be honest, due to Kanji's relatively weak jump back. So he doesn't really jump back that much. Getting another persona break, setting up.
Good dodge.
Rolling through it, however, gonna
that
get
was
the
an
persona
amazing
broken.
dodge.
Yeah, very good dodge regardless. This might kill, actually.
Yeah, this is
It
over.
does. Setting up, Ryozuzu is going to have a pretty good advantage in terms of the burst. In terms of the burst economy going into the second round, but it's so worth it if it means that you can just close out a round against Yukari, who has such good defense in neutral.
A little bit of damage coming out here. Not able to DP without his persona. So we're going to see Lad struggle a bit here to get out.
Yeah, seeing another mute. I think that's, as you said, that's one of the reasons that we're seeing him struggle so much with this pressure is other people have the option to DP out and add that mind game to Ryozuzu. Kanji does not, which also makes his matchup, and which is part of why it's so rough for Kanji is he cannot DP out of the 50-50 mix-up, which even with when you have the option as DP is one of the most oppressive set plays in the game. Because you don't have the option to late tech. Your only option is to risk a DP slash invincible super. However, getting that actually gonna. I wonder if this might. Does it kill? No, it's not even an option to OMB because there's something it'll kill. Hold up, Mike doesn't kill there either because he doesn't have the meter, and it doesn't wake up block. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Now he's with the burst lead though. Turning things in his
Having
favor
big
potentially.
burst advantage, and that round was extremely close with Ryozuzu having the burst advantage there as well.
Getting our lightning RPS OP
Not calling out the roll with the JC. I think that might have been a bit of a late reaction. I wonder if one that we might want to, if Lad might make the option of is maybe just going for a JB due to the speed of it and just taking slightly smaller punishes. Because the JCs have been failing quite a bit this set.
Definitely.
They're gonna go about 3.5k into corner OP. Wait, is it gonna be 4k? Nah, about 3.7. Midway of what I thought.
We're still on about Akihiko getting nerfed in the chat. Gotta love it. Even when he's not in the game, he's still getting hit with sprays.
Hey, I respect it. I really hope that broken character gets nerfed next patch.
Right. He's starting to deal with the neutral. Speaking of neutral though, Ryu playing
closing it out, going out 2-0 in
the
the reset. Doesn't even get the chance to use his burst.
One more set and it's gonna reset.
Yeah, one more game till the bracket reset.
Switching to Shadow. That's an
Shadow?
interesting choice.
Yeah, I wonder if he might be doing it just that extra little pressure to close out games and maybe just... Wait.
Are you even allowed to do that? I think you're so
No, you're not supposed to switch to Shadows even on wins. I wonder if it might have been an accident. Because I've done that before, or maybe a little bit of stick drift. I think Ryozuzu's mentioned that. It's up to you on if you want to enforce it or whatnot.
I think for integrity's sake, I think we'll just let this one, we'll let this play out faster. I don't think we're gonna count it though.
If you're not gonna count it, then I guess we can just let it. I don't know. It's up to you.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we might just let it play out.
I think if you let it play out, you should probably honestly let it count.
Yeah.
But it's a tough decision for sure.
So cute you'll die.
Winning the round and having burst advantage for Lad.
Definitely. Maybe we see Ryu accidentally noticing his mistake here, because I didn't see him use it for a Shadow Frenzy.
Yeah, maybe. I will say the one thing about Shadow Yukari to keep in mind is that, despite the fact that she does use the Shadow mechanics well, she actually doesn't. She's one of the best Shadows at not using Frenzy because of the fact that she has Burst Magarula at any point of the game, which is really good. So she doesn't have to use the Frenzies. But the fact that she obviously has a very real and very threatening both neutral Frenzy and normal Frenzy routing that do a lot of damage. I think normal Frenzy routing she gets like 7k, and neutral Frenzy I think is like 5 to 6k if I'm not mistaken.
Tries to roll out. Unfortunate. He gets caught
Yeah, you
out.
can occasionally roll out, and sometimes you'll roll out and get hit, but it'll only be like 1.6k due to the auto hurt box. But there, it's getting hit in the center,
Wow,
going to be a 2.7.
Are we going for loops here?
I think that was meant to be a reset. I'm not really sure there, to be honest. Yeah,
Both
the SP
players
air grab
one
not
hit away.
hitting. I don't. Oh, the 5D actually working out there.
Wow, good block. Watch for a perfect block here. Not wanting to press. Any touch could be death. Good grab.
That's going to
That
be
will
the
close
first
it
game
out.
that Lad's gotten this whole set.
Denying the bracket reset for now. That was an amazing air grab.
Please select your character. All right, let's do this.
Are we gonna... Yep, we're gonna see Ryu put on his song. I've noticed this a lot when I play with him. I think he prefers this song, definitely. Maybe helping him close out the reset here. Sticking with Shadow this time.
Yeah, also a slightly different stage here. Perhaps wanting a bit of a change of scenery and music to just kind of help with the mental reset. A very real thing that you occasionally see players go for is music counterpicking.
Definitely.
Well, not so much in this game since player one always gets the control over that. But it's a very real thing in Smash. They have whole rule sets for the songs that you're not allowed to pick actually. Getting the hit, gonna be 4k, 4.5, 5k into Oak.
Almost, wow. Not a good start for Lad.
Yeah, getting a Canadian burst, gonna close out that round with a huge burst advantage here.
Let's see if Lad can keep up his winning streak though. Because I know he really wants to avoid bracket reset here. He's ready to take it home.
Yeah, for sure, but Ryu just so dominant so far at the start of the set.
Definitely. Two honest mid-tier characters fighting, obviously.
I think it's a little bit unfair to call Yukari mid-tier. I think she's kind of struggling this patch.
Yeah, bottom two, what do you mean?
Bottom two along with Shadow Can.
I know, right? Alright, we see the bracket reset though. This is bracket reset. It is now 0-0. And these are the last potential 3 sets for the game.
Yeah, we could potentially have 3 more games left of this entire tourney. And Ryu's usually only needs one more set win to close out his 9-set losers bracket run, currently winning 8 of those sets. If I'm not mistaken anyways, I think it's been
Didn't he get out on about his first
3?
I think he got
Let me
out
count.
into losers in
3,
his first
6. Unless I'm miscounting, I think I actually miscounted. I think it's 8 sets.
game. Wow.
No, 3. Hold up, it's hard to count launch sets. 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's 8 sets. I miscounted by 1.
Wow. And we're already seeing pressure.
Here goes. Oh, talking to Ken. Damn it.
And for those who don't play this game too much, another thing with Kanji, you can't, not only can you not DP because he needs his persona for it, but you also can't burst. Another giant disadvantage of Kanji mute.
Yeah, and that goes for every character, not just Kanji. Most characters can DP without their persona, but in fact, only everybody cannot burst without their persona, but only Kanji. Well, Kanji and a couple other characters need their persona to DP though. Going
I'm
up
pretty sure
around
Risei
along
is
with
a-
burst advantage for Ryuzuzu.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, continue.
Risei is definitely one of those characters who needs their DP who needs their persona to DP.
Yeah, I think it's her and one other character.
Isn't it, Marie?
It might be. I kind of feel like it is, honestly.
Wow, catching out the
DP
roll.
catching the roll.
Very
getting that
common
Oki
thing to
going.
see, honestly. Wow.
Punishing the wake up super, I honestly didn't think he'd be able to. Along with getting that burst out.
Jumping over the Magarula orb, but it doesn't help too
Bursting
much.
just barely over the awakening threshold, which will most likely get there through chip due to how Yukari is, yeah. So nothing really too much lost there.
Definitely.
Not able to actually convert there due to the D hitting.
Wow. This could be it. Oh, no, drops it. But takes it
However,
on anyway.
panicking out the DP and taking out an arrow just to close it out. 1-0 for Ryuzuzu in the reset.
This could very well be the momentum he needs to carry it all the way to Grand Finals winnings.
Please select your character.
Let's see if we can get Lad here to catch up. We know he plays a very confident Kanji, and he does not have issues getting in. We've seen it throughout this most of the set, really. He is not.
Yeah, I also feel like throughout the set, it's not as if his confidence has already been waning. Perhaps a little bit more patience, but I mean, as Kanji, you kind of need that patience.
Definitely.
The DP going through there.
Speaking of DP, there's another one. DP catching the roll again, leaving a shock.
Yeah, I believe that was actually a double roll too. So that's a really big call out, in fact.
Wow. Gonna take some big damage here, just enough to get into Awakening.
Yeah, setting up the zoning has stage and health positioning, and this should be around if he doesn't drop. I don't even think he'll need Frenzy for this.
Definitely not. Oh, okay.
Barely off. I think he could have
Right
neutral
now
Frenzy there
is
for the
31.
round, but it's nothing really too big. It's closed out the round anyways, going up around with another burst advantage, going in nearly one round off, closing out the second game in the set.
Yeah, definitely close to winning here. But we can't count out Lad, who could turn this around at any point.
This is gonna be another 4K, and Oki hitting the sweep.
Uh-oh.
That should be 7K. That should be 7K. That should be death.
Oh no!
Drops it, but that was
Wow.
already 4K before
Uh-oh.
the supers.
Okay. It's Kanji's turn for right now.
Hold up.
Okay.
Punishing it, doesn't even bother going for the DP into the super cancel there, just going straight for it. Getting baited out though as Lad, knowing that due to the fact that he drops a Shadow Route, probably knowing the fact that one of the big things after you drop Frenzy Routes is you tend to panic due to the fact that in your mind you've already won at times. So I think he picked onto that, but wasn't able to make enough out of it.
Yeah. There goes
But that
set two
Ryuzu's
for
one
Ryu.
game off winning the bracket.
Let's see if this will be Lad's last set.
Round one. If you're gonna do it, don't lose.
Yeah, getting back into that zoning playstyle.
Wow, the Garrett Warbs just not really letting him do anything. Already Persona broken because the Garrett Warbs. Garrett Warbs are a really strong tool for Yukari. They lead to
Yeah, I will
mix
say,
up, free neutral,
one
and
thing-
everything in between.
Yeah, I will say one thing I've noticed throughout the tourney is it seems as if Ryuzuzu has a tendency to not confirm the 5As, but it really hasn't made that much of a difference on the side of Lad from the looks of things, unfortunately. Getting that Magarula mash, must have been mashing or delay attacking there and just getting counter hit.
Unfortunate.
Closing out, I believe that was a Persona Perfect, leading one more round left for Ryuzuzu to win the bracket.
3 Persona cards broken already. It's Kanji pressure though. Can be pretty mentally degrading at times.
Yeah, having a health advantage, thankfully, but still losing that burst advantage. And honestly, as we saw last round, this can definitely be 2 hits away and just losing it.
Definitely. But this is a Shadow character. Shadow Frenzy could turn this around.
Yeah, for sure. Again, that 2-tap potential. Also having, well, did have a full stake of butter, but losing it. However, it seems as if Lad looking fit. Yeah, taking this round.
Lad looking for the opening and finally gets it.
Final round. If you're gonna do it,
Comes some big damage. Lad not sticking around for the Garrett Ward mix. But we're right back in the mix zone.
Yeah, going back, tried to get the sweep there. Doesn't get it. OMCs for the pressure, though. Still, though, this is getting another hit regardless, leading into big damage.
This could be Frenzy. Oh, no, we're dropping now.
Attempting to roll out, which normally wouldn't work, but I think we saw a little bit of a delay there from
That could be
Ryuzuzu.
it.
Doesn't matter, baiting the burst.
That's game.
That's gonna do it. 3-0,
Wow.
closing out the tourney.
3-0. And a bracket reset. Good job, Ryuzuzu.
Yeah, closing out his 8-set losers run, only losing 2 games on his way to the after dropping down to losers.
Yup, that's it. Taking it home for the first tourney. And that will close out the tourney in total. Amazing gameplay from both, showing Kanji isn't much of a struggle bus character as some people make him out to be. But that is Skull's Persona SmackDown number 1. Any closing thoughts? Any socials you want to plug, Mike?
No socials of my own. I really don't have anything like that. But one thing I would like to mention is that we have Frosty Faustings tomorrow. Nice and early. From what I've heard, it's 12 p.m. EST tomorrow. And the people there, for those who are interested, we have Mighty Joey, best player in NA, Bonch, Grover, Wear Tear Rust, Jordan, Total, Thun, and Joltio. So that's a great variety of characters. Top of my head, I think that's 6 characters or
Definitely.
7. 6 or 7 right there.
We've got one of the most prominent Junpeis. We've got Big Pat going to Frosty's as well.
Top 8's already been decided, and I believe Big Pat's out. He's not in the top 8 bracket.
But that was a great tourney overall.
Yeah, it was great showing from all the players. I saw a lot of good things this tourney. Definitely excited to commentate more, perhaps.
Definitely. Can't wait for next event, which will be a special one for sure. And good night, everybody.